and welcome to a very special Wheww Hunnii One-on-One. Tonight, I am joined by a young mother who has the internet on fire right now. Okay, after she went live at her son's daycare, a video that has sparked outrage, support, and a whole lot of conversation. So we're getting ready to on. Okay, we are live. Okay, so please, before we get started, I would like to say I see what's happening. Mhm. Out of my website. Get out of my website. 1 second, guys. Okay, okay. So before we get started, I did want to say to the people, I keep hearing my echo. Okay, guys. So to the people at the daycare, okay, the people at the daycare, I want to be fair and give anybody at the daycare an opportunity to come if you have something that you would like to add to this story um, about what happened to Meezy's son. We would love to hear from you as well. We don't want it to be one-sided. You are welcome to come on to the show. So if you're interested, you can just go to the chatwithmisshollywood.com and leave a message and we will set it up as quickly as we can. But tonight we are hearing her story. So please help me welcome Meezy to the show. Meezy! Okay, Meezy, I've been trying to talk to you all day, girl.
I
Okay,
know.
so how are you doing?
I can't complain. The day is over with, so I'm bringing it all back in.
Okay, so I wanted to just thank you for being here before we get into anything. I just want to start with a human moment by just asking if you were okay because I know this has been like a whirlwind of emotions for you, for your child, and I just want to know how you were today, and most importantly, how is your son?
Um, he's doing good. The first day that I had seen him, he wasn't as active or as playful. You could tell he was like, um, I don't know if whether he fell or not, and that's why I feel like I'm so upset because I don't know exactly what happened to him to have the bruises on the neck and on his back and shoulders. Um, I'm like, what all happened? You know what I mean? And then not having any footage, any closure. I do feel like we could have dealt with this situation a little differently. But now knowing that this isn't the first time that, or my baby isn't the first baby that has been assaulted, there's multiple people, coming forward saying that is the exact same thing with the exact same people from Cincinnati all the way up to Dayton, and then it just happens to be my baby. I didn't expect for everything to be what it was, but he's doing good now. He still has a very dark scar on his face right here. It's very upsetting. When my 2-year-old sees his face, she just be like, "Oh, baby, are you okay?" Like she's very sympathetic because we're not used to seeing my son with these scars and bruises on his face.
Right.
The scar on his forehead is fading a little bit, but it's still very much present and there. And in my heart, I always felt like they allowed this to happen. And then to hear all these other people come forward and say they got sued for allowing it to happen, I know I'm not tripping.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not perfect, but I
Right.
ain't tripping either.
Okay, so let's touch on really quickly. You said that there are other children, families who sued. Could you just kind of elaborate a little bit on that? Because I did see some messages where people were talking about that, but they were directed to you, not to me. So I just wanted to see if you could just elaborate, a little on that.
Well, basically, I can't go into detail because I don't know their situation. I just know they reached out to me and was like, yeah, I sued them for the exact same thing and I won. Do not let up continue to do what you're doing.
Right.
Um, and that was a message that I kind of seen late. I got that message today, and I was just like, thank you, God, because this is more proof to show like I'm not the only one. And
Mhm.
even the police having the questions because she's not allowing the police to do their job and look at the video and not presenting video, and now all of a sudden the cameras were not charged up, like it's bringing more suspicion.
We got to talk about that because, all right, so for anybody that is just joining, Meezy is the woman who just went live the other day and went viral like crazy, because she found her son with bruises and bite marks on him, and she went live when she arrived to her child's daycare to get answers. She wanted to get answers, but then it got flipped around on Meezy as if Meezy was the one who possibly put the bruises on her child. Is that accurate?
That's very accurate, and I was just not okay with it at all, because if my son had an injury like that and I took him like that, which is just completely foolish,
Mhm.
they're going to report that. You know what I'm saying? To see him with scars, I've never seen my son bleed. I've never seen my son not feel like, oh, especially him just learning how to walk and becoming more active. He was not active at all. And now he's Mr. Active.
Mhm.
So, not seeing him be as active, seeing him kind of brace himself so he doesn't fall because he's sore,
Mhm.
that was very upsetting to me.
How old is your son?
He just turned 1 in March.
He just turned 1.
Yes, he's only 1. So he can't defend himself. He can't point and say, this who did this, this who was sitting there watching. He can't do anything. He's just turned 1 in March.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he can't even verbalize with you.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So what have you gotten any explanation from anybody at the daycare other than trying to place the blame on you? Nothing. Oh, well, such and such kid, they got into it or whatever. I mean, I saw something on social media as well on one of your pages, that I asked you about, where someone said that your child, an almost 1 year old or a 1 year old, pulls on other children and hits and does all these things too. So,
How is that possible for a 1 year old? Like, they barely have motor skills.
wow. Wow.
Like, I have read a magazine about babies, and they said when a baby is touching all on your face and patting on your face and stuff like that, that means they're trying to get to know your facial structure. They're knowing who you are. Like,
Mhm.
prime example, when our 2 year old was little and me and their dad was still together, I would say, make sure you're holding her and let her lay on your chest and let her rub her face on your face, because
Mhm.
she can feel your facial hair. So she'll be able to know this is daddy and this is mommy. You know what I'm saying? So she knows the both of us because of that. And with him, I noticed he is the face toucher. Like my daughter, she kind of rubs her face, you know what I mean, on everybody.
Mhm.
But my son, he is the face toucher, and it can
Right.
come across like he's being aggressive. But once I learned that from that magazine, I was like, oh, okay, that's what he's doing.
Right.
But now that he's gotten older, he really doesn't. He's not an aggressive baby at all. Period. He's not. He's not rough. He's a gentle bear. He's
Okay.
more gentle for sure.
Okay. So let me ask you this because you told me some disturbing things. Uh, One, after you went live, there were some things that happened. I didn't look at the entire live; it was long, but I did get the gist of what was going on. However, was there any altercation there with anybody? And why do you now have 2 assault charges? You have no employment. Your child, of course, has no childcare, and you had to go to CPS. What's going on?
So I'll hit one thing at a time. I had to go to CPS to report them.
Okay.
Um, I thought the state number, I didn't know the state number for reporting them is CPS. I've never been in this situation.
Okay.
So an investigator did call me back, and the hospital also put in a report because of my son's injuries with no explanation. So that's where CPS came from as far as
Okay.
this situation.
Okay. So it wasn't like, they came after you because the
Uh,
daycare. Okay. So you
no,
had
ma'am.
that's like being a mandated reporter.
Exactly. I was mandated to report this happened to my son. I'm not taking the blame for this. Um, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so that is the CPS part. What about the 2 assault charges?
Okay. So the assault charges, I don't, at this point, I don't even know if they're going to hold up
Okay.
because she's not sharing any footage. So if
Mm,
there's no footage, there's no nothing. So
right.
at this time, I don't even want to talk about it, but I will say the lady had pushed me first and I
Mhm.
pushed her back, but I never hit her. And
Okay.
another witness inside of the daycare that was working there did confirm to the police that I pushed her. And they said that is not an assault charge.
But you pushed her back.
But
So
I
if
pushed
you
her
got
back,
an
so and that's
charge,
pushing is not considered as assault.
right, but if it was, then that means that it should be a two-way assault charge, correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or self-defense because she actually pushed me first.
Okay. Okay. Um, what about your employment?
My job was willing to hire me back. Um,
Oh my goodness, really? This is news. Okay. All
yeah.
right. That is
But
very good.
right now, with everything going on with the court cases, my son, the childcare, I don't feel like this is the right time. So I'm gonna give it a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two. I don't know, because it's
Okay.
really scary on who's gonna keep my kids.
Mhm. And you would think that if you put them in daycare, that they would be safe. That's you put them in daycare,
Exactly.
you can work
Because
and
I'm not asking someone from the trenches. I'm not asking a family member who could fall asleep or anything. I'm asking a
Mhm.
professional. And that's why I keep, like when I was in college, I used to pay for childcare when it was
Right.
just my 10-year-old. She wasn't 10 at the time. But I would pay for childcare because I just felt like it was more professional. I didn't have to deal with, all the extra drama. So it's to
Right.
be drama. I've never had drama in no daycare for real, as far as with my kids. Like that's
Mhm.
crazy work. And I've never been, none of my kids or myself have been like turned away from having service. Like if I don't like the daycare, I don't like the daycare. But to me to get kicked out, no, everybody loves my kids. They know how I operate with them. I communicate clearly. And I'm focused on always building a relationship with the child care people because you guys are an extension of me when I'm not here. And I
Absolutely.
don't want you to treat my kids bad because you think I'm a bad person because you still gonna have it's gonna be a problem.
Right. Well, talking about when you talk about a problem, we had a little problem today. Okay, now we normally keep it clean on here. We don't condone violence. However, you want to tell anybody about an incident that happened today? It's totally up to you if you want to talk about it. The floor is yours. You got it.
Okay. I know a lot of people are disappointed in my actions, but they don't understand the situation. Um, about I want to say a little after 5, I'm in traffic. I had just dropped my friend off, and I'm literally in traffic. I'm probably about I'm close to Inglewood area here in Dayton, Ohio.
Mhm.
I'm close to Inglewood, and my daughter's like, "Mom, I don't want to tell you, but that lady is behind us." I'm like, "What lady?" And she's like, "The lady from the daycare." I'm like, "Which lady?" So I'm looking around. I'm automatically assuming she's talking about the owner.
Okay.
So she's talking about the other lady that's in the video, the white lady who was in, you know, over the info room where my son was in. So
Okay.
we're driving and driving. I'm switching lanes. I'm cutting corners, and she's cutting every corner that I'm cutting. And by the time I get to maybe Main, what is that, Main and Siementhaler, I kind of pull into the parking lot, not even the parking lot, but just like the entrance because it's right now they have a lot of construction up there. So it's literally like one lane. I don't understand why they're doing that on Main, but it was like so hectic to get away. And then I got my kids in the car. I can't be driving all crazy. It's so hectic to get away and get her from out from behind my car. And she had been behind me for about 2.5, 3 miles. Coming in Inglewood don't have all that construction up that way that we had came down to.
Right.
So now we're by where all the construction stuff is. So I kind of bop over by the Shell gas station entrance, and then I get behind her. I'm
Okay.
like, you know what? I'm sick of this stuff. I'm about to go to my cousin's house because this is too much. This is just too much. She turns around and goes up Hillcrest the same way that I'm going up Hillcrest. So I'm like, okay, wait, I do not want to sit here and go to my cousin's house and she follows me to my cousin's house because that's going to be a problem. And then I don't want to pull to my cousin's house. And then even if she doesn't approach us, she knows where I be at. Mm-hmm. So I pull in front of where I'm at now. I pull in front of here and there's a daycare across the street. So she pulls across the street and she's watching me and I'm watching her. Now, mind you, I don't have an warrant for my arrest for this situation. The police already told me all I have to do is show up to court. They have to prove the whole thing. And now they're saying there's no evidence. I mean, there's no video footage. So clearly there's not even going to be nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still, this is what I'm facing again. So if I caught an assault charge today, I'm still just going to go to court for it on the 27th. They said they are not going to give me an additional charge for something I already got charged for that they wasn't going to prove anyway. So if I'm going to catch a charge, I'm going to catch a charge for something. It's not, the best in my decision, but the way she was watching me, like she's watching me watch her. I'm watching her watch me. And I'm like, what is this lady doing? So I just pressed her and I'm happy I did because she was able, like the times where I'm not punching her and I'm talking to her, she expressed to me, she said the lady, her name was, I think she said Dre or Dee, or it was something with a D. She said Dee, and I was like, who is that? She says the director. I said, okay, what about her? She was like, she's the one who had your baby. Your baby did not have those marks on him when he was with me that day. And that's when I hit her again, because you are the one who just told me to my face that my baby came like this.
Right. That's what I wanted to ask you, because again, you were told in the beginning that your baby came to daycare with those marks.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
then now the story is kind of like, which one is it?
Yes, ma'am.
And about the cameras, every daycare should have working cameras, correct?
Exactly.
So where's the footage for the police so the police can sort it out?
Well, I sent so yesterday was also a busy day, making calls and everything, being the situation being so fresh. I had got an idea to ask the sheriffs, because that's their jurisdiction, if they could escort me over there to see the footage. And they was like, yes, because we also want to know what was on that footage. I did not know they were already being under investigation for one of those people that was on that post on my live.
Wow.
So they wanted to see the footage also. So they called her, being considerate and respectful. Is it okay that we bring Moniqua over there? We would like to see the footage. She says no. So I asked the police officers if they could come over there. Like, y'all come over there and look at the footage. I don't even have to be there. Either way, it's going to be recorded from your body cam, and I'll be able to tell, you can tell me what you saw. And it'll go from there. So I went home and they went back to the daycare. Now her story is there is no footage. The batteries were dead. And the police put that in the report, and they said there needs to be further investigation on this situation about the marks and the bruises on my son.
Okay, have you obtained counsel? Do you have an attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I was able to get an attorney.
Okay, well, I'm not going to ask you to speak on what your attorney, is telling you, but I mean, are you pursuing anything, in relation to what happened to your son? Try to get a full investigation. Try to find out why those cameras are not working.
And that's what the issue is with CPS. The issue is not with me. I take accountability. Like, I don't even feel bad for going off at the daycare. Like I said, I didn't assault either one of those ladies. The other lady had her camera in my face like this, and I smacked the phone out of my personal space, and it hit her in the mouth. That's not assault. You was in my personal space.
Which one was this?
Paparazzi cameras out their face all the time. That's not assault. But I was very upset about what that lady had said about my kids, my son in particularly. I don't care about what she said, but in particularly is saying that my son was bleeding from his behind, and clearly Children's knows that was not true. And she told me, she said, I was not the one who was keeping him. It was her. That's why I wasn't there. She's known for doing this. It wasn't me. If we can just talk about this at another time. I was like, no, we're not talking about nothing. And I know I was wrong for that. But I want to know everything that you need to tell me. And she threw that lady right on under the bus. And there's witnesses, and it's on camera in front of the other daycare. That daycare that we were at was the daycare that she was watching me, because where I'm at right now, the daycare is literally across the street from where I'm at. Okay. That's not the same daycare. She went over, she was watching me from over there, and I was watching her from over here, because she had been following me by this time from Inglewood to about here. That's about 5-7 miles. Right. She had been following me for a boot. And then even when I hit Hillcrest, she hit Hillcrest. And I'm right here off of Hillcrest. So.
Wow. Okay. I'm still trying to get over the fact that your son's only 1. Because I don't know why I thought he was, 5 and could probably tell mommy what happened. But he's only 1.
No, ma'am. He's not able to communicate, articulate anything. He can't point. I can't say, son, who was all there? And he'd be like, boom, boom, boom. He can't do anything but smile, enjoy his bottles, enjoy his food, his snacks, and be a cutie pie. That's it. And he looks, I'm not going to say he looks terrible, because I'm putting the aloe, the cocoa butter. I'm doing what I have to do as a mother for him. But at the same time, it's disturbing when you see these scratches and you don't have a justification. If I did not have a justification, I would have already been in jail.
Yes, this is
They've already, asked me all these questions, investigated me. I am not the problem. And ain't nobody gonna sit here and make me the problem. Right. If I'm the problem for anything, it's for being a pissed mother. And then yesterday, when the police go back up there and they confirm, like, she's not giving up those videos. He was like, something's going on. She's not giving up those videos. It just confirms what these other people are saying. They have not confirmed anything about me, because anybody that knows me knows my kids have a lot of clothes. Anybody that knows me knows I'm going to always put my kids first, but it's not easy doing everything and being one person. My kids could have more clothes if their father was giving them clothes. My kids could have more, but I'm doing everything that I can do, and I'm doing just fine. Life is perfect. Life is life. And because I never expected for something like this to happen, like, the blood was so fresh on him. I'm surprised any mother other than me probably would have reacted 10 times worse. But I have to think about everything, because I do have everything to lose. Like, everything to lose.
So true. And I was going to ask you before we even get, how did that make you feel when you were being the one accused of putting these marks on your son? Because I'm one of those people who I hate for someone to lie on me. Woo. And when you feel like you can't defend yourself and you know the truth, but it's so easy for people to say things and people are gonna buy it. You know what I mean? Some people will buy it, and some people
they will buy it, especially if they hate you. You feel me? Like, it's so many people that are haters.
They want it to be true.
I don't care about none of y'all. Right. I don't care about none of it. Monique Davis is not going to jail for this situation. Clearly, why would I go to jail? And ain't nobody else went to jail. And my son's the one with the charges. I mean, with the scars and the bruises. And y'all over here covering up stuff. And I'm gonna be the one to go to jail? I think the fuck not. The devil is a lie. I got too much more of a covering over myself to allow that to happen.
I love your strength. And I love the way you stood up for your baby, as you should, as any mother. You said something very key. You said that, another mother might have reacted worse. I can't say
today. Like, even with today, that lady following us, like, I'm not lying. I could, like, I don't put kids in situations. But if I was to, like, ask my daughter on live and be like, babe, tell them what happened when we was in the car today, that lady would not stop following us. And it was really like a scary movie. And after so long, when I'm watching her and she watching me and I'm watching her, that's what seemed like I pulled up on her. You know what I'm saying? Because I always go to that parking lot anyways to get on Hillcrest to avoid this light. But I did pull up over there on BS, because why are you following me? You've been following me for about 10 minutes. And then whenever we're right there by the daycare where the construction stuff was, I'm like, I ain't gonna worry about it. She probably going on to the daycare. She kept following me. all the way to Hillcrest. And I'm like, what the freak? Then I get on Hillcrest. I'm like, man. But by this time, I'm behind her, but we're still going the same way. I don't know if she's seen, because I'm one of those type of people. I turn on my blinker, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if she's seen my blinker. So now she want to turn on her blinker because, you know, I'm behind her now. I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking, what the situation was. My reaction wasn't the best, but I don't care. And we were already trying to record and go live, but that area, the signal is really, this area here, the signal is so freaking bad. Like I'm so happy that it's good right now, because it's like literally 1 or 2 bars. It keeps on going back from 1 to 1, and I'm just
good. Wait, you talking about now?
Yeah, my signal sucks over here.
Oh, well, you have not skipped a beat. Okay, but let me address the comments really quickly. Okay.
Okay, I can't see them.
I'm gonna show them to you one by one. Okay, so here's the first comment, and I'm sure it's a fake, account, because we get them sometimes. The name is LOL. So here she goes, or he goes. Your guest too busy dodging jail. Okay, that's one. Okay, and then I guess when you started talking, for assaulting a woman, putting kids in her car. You going to talk about the video of her assaulting the girl, putting the kids in the car? Or the fact that she's clout chasing, using her kids as an excuse for 15. Okay, ma'am or sir, can I just ask you a quick question, sir, ma'am, or whoever or whatever you are? First off, you're more than welcome to join in. I can send you a link and you can come on here and speak your piece if you have one. But to say that someone is using their children for clout and 15 minutes.
When my child is the one assaulted, like
her child has bruises and bites and with blood. Like, are you
with
kidding?
No explanation.
Like, come on now, we got to do better than this. And please, please, please do not come on here talking about hold on, no, I want to get to the other one. Or did you delete it? Oh, she might oh yeah. You're eating up lie after lie. I don't eat lie.
You're eating lie. No, I'm actually not lying. She was actually behind us first. She was following us first. So I don't know what she was going into daycare for. She literally did come out with kids and everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know what she was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but LOL, feel free to visit the chatwithmisshollywood.com, and hey, I can bring you on too. You can come on right now with Mo Meezy.
Tell LOL to come on with that fake ass.
Oh look, she laughing. She laughing. But yeah. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna get back to what happened. So what made you okay? I need to go back a little bit, because what made you go live when you got there, number one, and you went to the daycare to go live after you realized you were home. He came home with the scars, or when you picked them up. When did this start? What day?
It started on Monday.
It started on Monday after Mother's Day.
The day after Mother's Day.
Okay.
I dropped him off that morning. He had a cute little outfit on. He was clean. He was bathed. He didn't have any scars or bruises. Everything was everything. I come back and pick him up. He had this scar right here by his eyes, his neck, his shoulders, everything. I was like, ma'am.
Fresh marks.
Fresh. Okay. Like where else would they been from? That fresh.
Right. And you said blood, right? And
the blood in his ear, the blood on his face was still very fresh. It wasn't even clotted over all the way.
Wow. So let me ask you this.
For my clout chasing from my son, that's crazy.
We're gonna clout chase all day for our kids,
because he doesn't have a voice. And I don't care who feels like I'm clout chasing. Oh well, at the end of the day, it's going to be justice for my son. My son is going to get restitution for what happened to him. He's not the only child that's had to get restitution from this woman and that lady at that daycare, that same exact place. And they've gone from Cincinnati to Dayton with this same nonsense. And now they met them a Moniqua Davis. Oh, well, my child ain't going to be the one.
They met a Monique Davis, honey. You heard what she said now. They met a Okay, so let me ask you this. Now we're gonna be real because you know the internet is split. Okay. Now some people are cheering you on for protecting your baby, as you should. Others are criticizing your reaction. So they're saying you went too far. What do you say
I,
to
I probably
those?
and I feel like I did a little bit, and then I feel like I didn't. Because how would y'all feel, regardless if we was going around the same area or not? If she driving behind you for about 5 miles, you cutting corners, she cutting the same corners, you switching lanes, she switched the same lane. What y'all gonna think? Y'all gonna be on more bullshit than me. Y'all gonna pop out in the middle of the street,
Mhm.
probably get ran over, give her an opportunity to run you over. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the situation. Like she was literally behind me first. And then we still end up going the same way.
Right, because your daughter was the one that noticed that she was
Yes,
behind.
ma'am. I didn't even know she was behind me. And I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I wear glasses. Like my glasses around here somewhere. I wear glasses. So I'm like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yeah, that's her car." I said, "How you know that's her car? You don't go to that daycare." She said,
Mhm.
"Because one day last week when we had dropped off the kids, and I remember her bringing this up to me. I guess one day last week she was pulling out when we was pulling in to the daycare, and when she pulled out, she almost got hit by a car because of that construction over there. It's so bad. So that's how Nugget was able to identify her car.
Mm. Okay. Very observant.
And that's on everything. Like that's on the Lord Father God above. Like you can, like my baby's father, if he watches this, he can privately go ask our daughter, like, was that lady following y'all? And she gonna be like, yeah, she was. And mommy got mad.
And she's how old?
She's 10.
Oh, she's 10. Okay, she's a 10-year-old.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so back to really quickly the people that are criticizing you in the comments. Do you have anything that you want to say to them? Not this person.
I can't
I'm talking
see
about
it.
on your live. On your live.
I can't see anything.
No, when you were live at the daycare, I'm sure you read some of the comments, right?
I did, but then I just got off of there. I wasn't on
Okay.
it. Like people would send me stuff more than I would read it. Some
Mhm.
stuff I would comment on, but I didn't, it was just too much.
Okay, it gets too much. Okay, so if you could go back to that day, would you have done anything differently today?
If I could go back to that day, knowing they didn't have those cameras, so since they say they didn't have those cameras like that, I would have took off that day inside of that daycare. And that's what I have to say. And it would have never been no today. But since they want to be lying about the cameras and doing all this other type of stuff, and then next thing you know, you just happen to be behind me. I'm like, that was crazy work. She happened, like I said, and my story is not gonna change. She was behind me first. And she gonna even tell y'all I was behind her first.
Mhm. Wow.
Regardless if her intentions was not,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. So, what do you think about the system though? Do you feel like the system is designed to help mothers like you or fail them? Like how do you feel about the system? How do you feel about where this case could go with your son? Will your son get justice? Will something happen? Will anybody be held accountable so that we can find out what happened to your son?
Well, the daycare lady is definitely being the owner or director is definitely being held accountable. Um, for multiple reasons.
Mhm.
The lady, because of the lack of knowledge, they'll probably be getting additional charges
Mhm.
from negligence, charges from the state,
Mhm.
charges from whatever, because the sheriffs are looking like this isn't right, this isn't adding up, and she's been shut down multiple times
I
for
was
the same thing.
right.
My
I
me like even getting the messages that I got today about like that's really upsetting. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. This is crazy. This is crazy. Then turn around and see the lady in traffic behind you, and you're riding and you're riding and you're driving and you switching lanes and you're doing and they still behind you. That's a lot. and then they're right across from you, and you're looking at them, and they're looking at you. Like, I could have did a lot more, but that's not the whole video either. That was just getting started.
You understand what this says right here? He said,
Huh?
"You wrote." Tiara Roberts said, "You wrote them messages, boo." And then she says, "That
No, I
lady followed you at all."
huh?
She says, "That lady
I'm
ain't
not worried
followed you."
about Tierra.
You
I can actually, the lady who actually made the messages, she's actually, I asked her to come onto this live, this chat, um, because the lawsuit is already over with. Like, I don't have to make any messages. I was in the car with my friend. Like, I wish I could share my screen right now to where I can show you and show you that these are real people. Like, make the messages for what? No.
right, exactly. Okay.
Tierra made it up. You feel me? Like, I guess she's trying to clout chase because she feels some type of way about the video. Those people been doing that to my kids. And if somebody did that to her son, I wouldn't give a fuck if she beat their ass or not. So she really needs to be quiet, because I'm gonna still be like, oh well, the lady did what the fuck they did to her child, because ain't nobody playing about no motherfucking kids.
They're not.
But
They're
to
not.
make those messages, no, it's not that serious. They was gonna go down anyways. But it's public record. You can look up the lawsuit, sus. All you got to do is look it up. I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth and bicker with you, or I don't give a fuck about the trolling or none of that. Girl, fuck you.
That part. So, what do you see? Where do you want to see this all go? I mean, I know you want justice, but at the end of it all, what do you want to see? Do you want to see this daycare shut down? Because again, I've read some messages that said that this daycare was
Matter of
shut down.
fact, I sent you the messages. You can look the messages. You can look those people's pages up and see those are real active people on pages.
Kiara, you want to come on? What you got to say, girl? I mean, because you all in the comments and doing all like, what we doing?
What? I don't know what she's saying. I can't see nothing.
Can you read this?
She said, well, actually, I'm on the podcast because they reached out to me. When I was on the podcast before, they reached out to me. Like, what do you expect? Like, this is a motherfucking situation that just went viral. I'm not the only mother that has gone through this. It was so many people in the comments, including family members. And they said the same thing, that the daycare people, they said that's not nothing new to hear, where the daycare people will put it on the parents. And I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? Wow. With my older children, they didn't really go to daycare like that. My mom was still living. My family was still, alive. And, it was just, it wasn't as hard as it is now. And I'm not going to say it's hard, but trusting people is hard.
Yeah, how does that? Okay, because that's a really good question as far as like, the future of your children in daycares out. Do you have a younger daughter that's still in daycare?
No.
The 1-year-old and the 2-year-old.
Again, she's going to summer camp, but no, ma'am, not right now. I'm just cooling it. I'm cooling it.
Okay, we're gonna ignore the trolling and we're done. Anyway, so
I can't see nothing.
I don't know if you do you want to read the comments?
I can't see nothing.
No, I was asking because if you did, I'll put them up.
If it's that bad, then no. If you don't like it, then no.
It's just, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I don't give a fuck. Exactly. I don't give a fuck. Those people been doing that to these motherfucking kids, and now motherfuckers want to be mad over a motherfucking predator. I don't give a fuck. These people been doing this shit from Cincinnati to Dayton, and now when it comes to my son, I'm wrong because I overreacted. Man, fuck y'all.
Okay,
fuck about nothing.
We got somebody in the comments, Skylar. So Skylar says,
"That's the lady."
I can tell you 100%. I never followed this lady. I had my child in the car, and I was on the way.
And she left her child in the car and left her child by herself in the heat. It was terrible. It was terrible, sus. I tried to, I think I recorded a little bit of that, but my phone was glitching so bad. But yes, she did have her child in the car. And when she passed the daycare, she says, I went to pass the daycare to go to the children's daycare and followed my car, blocked me in. And I did block her in. And yes, I did. I'm not taking away from none of that. Yes, I did block her in and all that because bitch, why are you following me? And it was just so weird. Like, you just happened to be behind me. You was behind me first. And then I got behind you because I felt like you were following me. And we still ended up going the same place. And that's what the situation is. That's what it was. I felt threatened. I had my kids in the car too. And when you was following me. So we both feeling the same way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, listen. What this is, oh, you still reading, honey?
I'm trying to. It's
Okay.
so small. I can't. You'll have to read it. So it's like my screen is you probably see more than me.
Okay, I do. I see it very
My
big.
car and block me in. Yeah, I can't.
Okay. So tell me, what do you have
But
going?
how you playing victim? But you was just lying. You just lied to on me, and now you want to play victim. Oh, you just left Troy. Your son came here with this, but when I had you at the daycare, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Your son didn't look like that when I had him. It was the other lady. But now you want to play victim. But bitch, this situation would have never even happened if you would have told the truth. When you know my motherfucking son didn't come in there like that. Bitch, I don't feel sorry for you. Fuck you.
Right. She says that you stalked her to her child's daycare.
She probably feels that way because after she was behind me so long, like I explained, she was behind me so long, even though it was a one way, I pulled right there because we were still going the same way. I'm right here. I'm right here right now. Can I switch this camera over?
Probably like what to the other, like the
Hold
other
on.
girl.
I'm about to just do it. Where I'm at right now. And this is where I be at, bro.
Well,
The
I don't want
daycare
you to
right
stop
there.
from where you are.
That's the daycare. That's not the daycare she works at.
Right.
That's
That's
not the daycare she
where her
works at.
CD is
This is
at.
the daycare by where I be at.
Okay.
So I felt like she was following me.
Right. Okay. Okay. So Skylar, Joe, you want to come on? Y'all want? I mean, do
Yes,
you want
let her come on because I have questions. Because now you
Skylar,
switching
Joe?
your story up,
Right.
Skylar. Because now you
Skylar,
switching your
Joe.
story up. First, you said my son came with scars and bruises. Then today, when I press you, you say that he didn't come with scars and bruises. That he came like that happened when you was with.
Uh-oh. Okay. Wait, she might be back. Skylar, did you want to come on? If you wanted to come on, you could definitely come on. Um, I think that she'll be back. I would love to bring Skylar on. Skylar, if you would like to come on, you could simply just send me your email and I'll send you a link. She says, "Nah, I don't want to talk to this crazy lady." She's saying, "Okay, but that's why I'm offering,
Don't talk in the comments. Come forward.
right, I'm
Come
offering."
forward because your story just switched up today, sus. When I was at the daycare and you was in front of that black lady, you said my motherfucking son came like that. When I just pressed you at this daycare over here, you said that he was not like that when you had him, and it
Mhm,
happened when he was with the other lady. But I believe you. This is the thing. I believe you after you said that because those scratches were so fresh. So
mhm,
I believe you. But that
mhm.
don't justify what the fuck you said about my son saying he was bleeding out his ass, bitch. You was a goddamn lie. Talking about something he was dirty and everything. Bitch, he had just got a bath before he got there. You got me fucked up.
Okay, so Uncle Ruckus says, "Ask the daycare to explain the scars. Why they
Right.
didn't call the police if the scars were already on the child when he arrived?"
Where why didn't y'all call? Why didn't y'all report it? Why didn't y'all report the incident to me and write an incident report?
Mhm.
But I'm the bad guy because I don't got no answers and I'm mad. But you lying and lying again and again and again. How am I supposed to believe if you wasn't following me? Bitch, you been lying from the gate. Bitch, you was following me as far as I'm concerned. And then you got scared when I got behind you.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
how I feel.
and there's a lot there's a lot going on in these comments. Let me find out what is going on. Okay, what is this? So did you really blow your own car up? They said you blew your car up and acted like you
Girl,
did?
I did not. I don't know who that is, but no, that's not true. They
Oh,
got so many different stories about. I've heard so many stories about myself. They said I blew my own car up and all types of stuff.
I
No,
can
I
relate
didn't.
to you. I can relate to you about as far as that goes.
I can't hear you. Hold on. But no, whoever that is, no, I did not blow my own car up. I had just got that car. I was not happy. I had full coverage insurance and didn't even I had just got that car probably like
Right.
2 months prior. I was not no, ain't nothing that serious for no
Oh,
attention to blow my own car up. And that was
right,
the nicest. I had 3 cars, and that was my nice car. What I look like catching my nice car up on fire or anything that I paid for that I'm not gonna be able to get back? Like that don't even make sense.
right.
Like I've heard so many terrible stories about myself, and I just be letting people think and believe what they want to say.
Because they're going
You
to
believe it, you believe it. But at least she asked, though. At least she asked. So I
right.
give it a whoever that is. At least she asked
Okay.
versus just going off of what they said.
Okay, wait, what? Okay, but why you follow her, block her in, and hit her? You did it because of what she posted on Facebook. If you had legal counsel, you wouldn't have never did that. She ain't.
Well, I actually told my legal counsel, and I do have legal counsel. Um, I did tell them what I did, and they said that does not negate the investigation. She's still going to get whatever charges she's going to get on her end for my son, and so is that daycare. She got her ass beat. That has nothing to do with that particular case at hand.
Okay.
But I did do that though. She absolutely right. I'm not denying none of that, sus. Whoever that was.
Okay. Yeah, that was J Love. I'm not sure. J Love.
Okay.
Okay, and this person says any child care provider is a mandated reporter, as we spoke up earlier, and they can be sued for that because if they felt like the child was being abused, they were supposed to report it. But because they want to cover their ass, they trying to cover their ass. And it will be the same shit that will get them in trouble. That was Stephanie Janae Booker. And
Okay.
Stephanie, yes, we did just talk about mandated reporting. Actually, early on in the live, we talked about mandated reporters. So, yeah. So again, if and that is so true what she just said. If and we spoke on this, if your child showed up at school with bruises and blood and all of that, right? You going to jail, and
Hmm.
you are guilty until proven innocent.
If
Based,
that was me, if I wasn't, you feel if that was me, I would already been in jail already.
okay.
CPS would have been knocking on my door like, can you explain this to us?
Mhm.
We need to see your son. No, they're coming to me, get my side of the story and see my son because of what happened with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't there. He was in their care, period. But she admitted it today. Where's
Okay.
she at in the comments right now? She admitted it today. She
Okay.
says, it wasn't me. Like, if whoever was in that parking lot that seen what was going on and they heard her say that, come forward. Like, because she literally said it. I can't remember what's the lady's name, but I know her from when I was younger. And she just happened to see me. She's like, Monique, well, no. Oh my God, this is not you. No, like, no. No. And I told her, I was like, go look at my son's face right now. He's still blue around here. You know what I'm saying? The scar is blue. It's not
Right.
red anymore, but it's
Mhm.
blue. Right
Right.
here, it's just big scabs. It hasn't even scabbed over yet because once
Oh,
again, it was
yeah.
that fresh.
Right. All right, well, let's read some comments. So we got Skylar Joe again saying, I'm not trying to cover anything. I agree with her on this part. Show the cameras. Okay, but I thought that there was nothing on the cameras.
Exactly, Skylar. So that's what I'm saying. What's going on? And that's why she said what she said. It's not me. She said it. She said it today. So
Mhm.
I mean, I kind of don't feel bad. I mean, Skylar, if you were not a part of this as a woman and a mother, I apologize to you and your kids because I'm not like that. But at the same time, this lady will not give any footage. This
Mhm.
lady will not cooperate with the police either. She's now saying that those cameras was what they say not charged or something like that, and
Mhm.
that there was no footage. So the police are saying they're going to do investigation further. They need to do further investigation,
Right.
but she's not giving that up. But if she, but I believe you. I believe you. And
Okay, you
I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. This is hard to deal with when you're always being the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy. I'm like, shit, I may as well be the bad guy.
know.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I take accountability for my wrong. If I catch a charge, I'm gonna be like, I might plead not no contest because I ain't gonna argue or bicker about it.
Mhm.
But I would take accountability for that, Skylar, because what do you expect? I'm
Right,
sure you would be on the same shit over your kids.
right. I think anybody would. So I don't know. I feel like there might be an opportunity somewhere that maybe you two ladies can bury the hatchet and just, like,
I never had a problem with her from the beginning. I'd be like, hey girl, good morning. She'd be like, hey, she seemed like she was down to earth, but at the same time, like, I still can't say I got the vibe. And then how she switched up
mhm,
today versus how she was on Monday, Tuesday, can I really say I can trust her?
mhm.
I don't know about that part. The
Right,
answer would probably be no,
right.
because you was just saying to my face in front of the lady that he came like that. But then when you're not around the lady, he wasn't like that. So be honest, Skylar, did my son come to that daycare that morning with those scars and bruises on his face? If you can just be honest like that, I would appreciate you so much. Be for real.
Tyler, I'm still offering,
Well, I mean,
I'm
I
still
think
offering for her to come on if she wanted to come on. And I mean, literally just have an adult conversation. I mean, you apologize, which is big because a lot of people wouldn't. They would stand
they would
10
not.
flat footed on what they did, said, or whatever, but you apologize. So I think that there might be an opportunity for y'all to try to come to, like, I don't know, something. But let's get to some more
And
comments.
she did try to talk. She was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. If you could just please let me, you know what I'm saying? But at this time, I'm in survival mode and protection mode because I got my kids in the car and we are going pretty much the same place. So I did feel like she was genuinely following me. But and she probably felt like I was following her.
Right, right. And
We
nobody.
literally, her daycare that she picked her kids up from is literally across the street from where I be at every day.
Right, and I
Where
mean,
I'm
you
at right
just
now.
proved that. So I mean, you just proved that. So
Yeah,
we
all
have,
the stuff that they talking, yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about what she said on the post. Yes, I'm gonna be thinking about that stuff.
mhm,
Like, why would I not? Like, I'm looking at my son. Me and my kids are looking at my son with his face messed up. We not used to that.
right,
My
and you
kids don't
didn't
think
get used to
kindly of
that,
that.
right? Well, there's a bigger conversation here because when people take their children to daycare, you know, you
Yes,
as
ma'am.
you as a parent expect for the adults to protect your children, but then what about how children feel unprotected and unsafe as well? You got to think about
Exactly.
that as well, so it's
And I'm
bigger.
not gonna lie, in my mindset at that time, Skylar, I'm thinking like my kids about to see me motherfucking go to the person who hurt their little brother and show them that this ain't that.
Mhm.
Like, like we were already trying to record when we were in traffic when she was behind us. But my phone, like, I don't even got a lot of charge on my phone's on the charger right now. Thank
Mhm.
God for this ring light and everything. But
Yes.
I was already trying to go live.
Yeah.
So if I would have went live, which I'm happy it didn't work, it definitely would have looked like she was trying to follow me.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So we got a comment here from Tanya Hanley. She says it doesn't matter who was following who. Her son had scars on his face. That's what needs to be addressed. Do what's best for you and your child. Okay. I'm gonna read some more comments. We got Stephanie Janae Booker. She says right. So let's see. Darnay Hill. What would you do if your child was at home crying all alone on the bathroom floor because he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is to sleep with Darnay for a little bit of money. Darnay. Darnay Hill. And I don't Darnay, come on now. This is a serious conversation. It's a serious conversation. Um, Skylar, Joe, and you could have had a conversation with me, but you never tried to talk to me. Skylar, listen to me really quickly, and you don't have to. But I really, really, really think that there is a real opportunity here. I know things have happened already. that neither, that she can't take back, but she did apologize. And I think that Mo Meezy
But I
really.
mean, is she gonna apologize for lying on me? Lady, you lied on me to my face. That's why everything escalated the way it did, because you lied to me in my face and said that I sent my son like that. And that don't even make no sense, because say if that did happen, which it did not, but this
Mhm.
is just hypothetically, why would I send my son on an off day? I mean, that was literally supposed to be my off day, but I did go in from 3 to close that
Mhm.
day because they called me in. But originally I was supposed to be out.
I just, again, I feel like there is definitely a genuine opportunity here for y'all to fix this. Now, your son may not go back to that daycare, and, some things might not ever be the same there, but just as two women, now you were woman enough to apologize for your actions and how you felt, because you felt apparently the same way she felt. She was following you, you were following her. Whoever was following who, y'all needed to have a
We might
conversation.
not even been followed. She might not even been following me, and I was not following you. I
Right.
was like, I'm right here. My cousin lived right here. You've been behind me for however long. I've been behind you for however long. I don't want you to know where I'm going. Like that was you know what I'm saying? Like no, like what are you gonna think with everything going on?
Mhm. And Tasha Mack, so you saying, so the person who was recording, let me pull it up so Mo can see it. So the person who was recording in the car, why does she have full footage?
The phone, it's no full footage of is she talking about as far as the live on Tuesday?
I have no idea. Tasha Mack, if you could be, if you can explain which live you're talking about, because we're trying to figure out what footage you
Because
are.
that's not a lie. And like I explained, if she's talking about what transpired, they want to see the video. The phone had died, and I did not know that. But we were trying to record, and it kept dying. And then being over here on Tapala, however you say it, it's just bad signal over here. It's just terrible. So it was like, the camera footage was, I was definitely trying to record prior. As soon as I seen her behind me, I was trying to record.
Right. Okay. Now, were you trying to record for protection, for proof, evidence?
Yes, for protection and proof. And I'm
Okay.
like, at the same time, this lady keep on following me. I'm about to get her.
Right.
All of the above. It was
But
all of the
you're
above.
already tense because this whole incident is fresh.
It's very fresh. Those scars and bruises are fresh too.
Right. Right. So, Skylar, you said we were told there were cameras. I had no idea until she told the cops that they didn't work. She told all her employees we were being watched on camera.
To manipulate y'all.
Hmm.
So come on now. Come on now. Who's really lying? Thank you for saying that.
Okay.
But
Now,
I didn't expect for her to say that either when the police went over there, because she told me on Tuesday she reviewed the cameras and she said that she did not see any type of foul play or roughhouse or anything, and that my son, and the other lady also told me that my son came with those scars.
I'm
And I'm
just
like, no, no.
like, Skylar Joe, if you could, in the comments, since you clearly don't want to come on camera, and that's fine. But I just would like to ask you, why would you make that comment if you had no proof that that was true? So it sounds like that came from your employer. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't
Oh, it
there.
was her for sure.
Right. Because I'm just trying to figure out like, why would that be said? To protect the daycare from, liability, or I don't know. But I really would love to know why Skylar Joe even ever said that. So I don't know if she's gonna respond, but we can't hear we can't hear you. And Skylar shouldn't have made, no, we can't. Okay. And Stephanie Janae, good point. Well, Scholar shouldn't have made that post on Facebook because you sunk the ship. It made y'all look fraudulent. I mean,
Can you
I
hear
gotta
me
say,
now?
yes, yes. I
Okay.
have to say, Stephanie, that is true because I'm just saying it really sounds strange. Why would somebody make that comment if it wasn't, like the facts? And to put this mother, in that situation, like I can only imagine how you felt being accused of something that you know damn well wasn't true, that you didn't do anything to your son, and yet
Then
you're the
turn
one.
around and say all those bad things, saying my son was bleeding out his behind, blood on bloody booty, and dirty socks, and came in dirty and nappy headed. First of all, you shouldn't be calling nobody nappy headed because we're black folks. You don't call nobody nappy headed.
She
And
called
my
the
son,
son.
like, huh?
She called your son nappy headed.
She called my son nappy headed on that post.
I mean, Skylar
So
had
yes, that's why. I
with
mean, I was thinking about
apologize.
all that when I seen her and I seen she was following me.
Hold on, let me see if she sent the email like she said. Hold on one second. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see an email. Let me see. Hold on. Let me refresh it. Nope. No email. No email. Stop playing in my face, okay? I don't see an
It's been a
email.
lot of playing in motherfuckers' faces, and that's
Yeah.
the problem here. That's the problem. People keep on playing in people's faces about their kids, and
Right.
that's not cool.
Okay, hold on. Let me see something. She sent me her. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Because you know what? Before I add her, if she really comes on, I would love, and it would make my night, and probably a lot of other people out here that are not on here
Tro-
trolling. But let's just be adults about situations. People got hot headed and upset. Anger and all these things that happen because unfortunately, when we're
and it
mad,
ain't they kid. How was you mad when your
exactly
kid you wasn't being lied on by this bitch that
right,
just got addressed in the parking lot? And I'm happy I did it because she was able to tell the truth.
right.
So how am I the bad guy when that pressure brought out the truth? Now look at her spilling the beans. Huh.
Okay,
And I'm supposed to be mad? Fuck y'all. Keep
okay.
on
Hold
trolling.
on. Let's see what
It
Scott.
just
Let's see.
tickled me.
Let's see what Skylar, if Skylar is really going to join. I'm gonna add her and see if she comes on. And I'm not gonna give it no more than 60 seconds because we don't really, we really want to try to get to the bottom of the situation and just be adults. Because this is, it's a serious situation. We don't play with people's children. I don't know how I would feel if somebody did that to my children, to one of my kids, but it probably wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be a good situation. All right, give me 1 second, everyone. I'm gonna add Skylar and see if she's gonna come on. Okay. Let's see. Skylar. Okay, let's see. Skylar Joe. Okay, and I did find her. So she did send me the correct. Okay, hold on. And I'm hearing that the owner wants to come on. I don't know how you feel about that, or I don't know. But I mean, I would love to get to the bottom of this all. Okay, let me send this to her.
The owner coming on now because she getting caught up.
You think? Oh
I
well,
know.
yeah, because there's
I
some
know.
there's some stuff that
Lady,
ain't adding
it's
up.
already been said.
There's some
So
things that
what's
are
the
not
real
adding
truth, lady? What is the truth? What happened
up.
to my son? Please come on here and explain what happened to my son while you had my son. Please come on here and explain to me why there was no incident report. Please explain to me why you would lie and say that I had brought my son with bite marks, scratches on his face, his ear, and bruises around his neck. Please explain to me why you could not have just said there was an altercation with the kids. Your
Mhm.
son, we did make a report. We called the parent of the child and had them come and pick the kid up. Anything to rectify the situation. You showed no compassion, Miss Director. You showed no empathy. It was all an act. And then to lie in my face and play in my face, and you know my son didn't come like that. Talking
Okay.
about some those scars, but the owner has said that my son had came in there by the time she had served breakfast, that he had those scars. If I picked him up at 5 something and he had those scars at breakfast, he wouldn't have been bleeding no more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I believe Skylar, because Skylar wasn't there when I picked him up. It was the other lady.
That the African American lady.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Tasha Mack, you're saying that the owner wants to get added. What is her email address? You send me the email address, and I can bring her on because I would love to hear her side as well. Also, Skylar Joe, I don't see you, and I did send you a link. Simple link. All you have to do is click the link, and you'll be in my waiting room. So, yeah, we all heard. Let me see. We all heard her story at the owner. Okay, well,
Owner.
send me the owner's email. Yes, Skylar, I did just send it. I did send it. Let me see. Let me just go to my sent for sure. I sent it. Yep, it's there. Skylar Jill at AOL. That's where I sent it. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm gonna try it one more time. Skylar Jill at AOL. Okay, because I don't know, but I want you to tell me.
I'll let you ask her the questions, and I'll sit back and.
Yeah, because I just okay, yeah, because I like to ask this question with everybody on here. So let me try one more time. I'm gonna try to get okay, and we got the owners here too. So let me see. Ugh, okay,
Why are you doing it? Hold on 1 second.
okay, okay. I think I sent it correctly. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, it went through. So I'm not sure it went through already. It says that you already received the invite. So this is the last one I'm going to send. Oh, she's here. Okay. Skylar is here. Okay, guys. So we're
Oh,
going
I
to
thought
be.
you were talking about the owner.
Well, I'm getting ready to invite her now.
Okay.
Hi, Skylar. How are you? Welcome to the
Good.
chat with Hollywood. You already know that we have Mo Meezy here. You two are familiar with each other. Just give me 1 second and let me get the owner on, and then I would love to answer any questions that you may have, or you can speak to, y'all two can speak together because I really think, there was some misunderstandings here, and I think that,
Can I speak before you add the owner?
yes, you can.
Okay. So like you're saying all these things about scars and bruises and stuff, but I was never personally asked by you about your son. Dree had called me after I left and asked me what happened. And what I thought she was talking about was this morning, that thing, the one of the things on his cheek. That's what I had noticed this morning. And Dree had said that she had seen the same thing that morning, so I had figured that that was already there. Those pictures that you posted after I had made that Facebook post, I never left with him bleeding like that. I didn't see his ear like that. His cheek was not bleeding when I left. Like
Thank
it was not like that when I left those pictures. And I'm not saying Dree did it or anything. I had been telling Dree there was a baby in that classroom that's been on everybody, and I've been putting him on timeout every time I see it happening, and like, because that's all I can do and separate him from the children, and nothing was done about that child. So I'm not surprised he got his hands on somebody's ear if that's what happened. I was not there. I would gladly let Dree show the cameras. I have no problem with her showing the cameras because I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I have other kids I have to take care of that class. I have to change diapers. I had to clean. I had to feed other babies, infant babies. Like I can't always see a scratch and everything, but I changed his butt at 5 o'clock and there was no bleeding on him whatsoever when I left that daycare. When Dree called me, I told her, I said, if there's a scratch on him that I did not see then it probably came from the little boy because I had been taking him off of people all day. I never
Mm.
once accused you or said that it came from you or came from home. Didn't say nothing about no bruises, no scars. I had no idea what that was even a conversation about until I saw the pictures that you had posted over your
Mm.
son. And I understand, I could see why you're upset because I would want to know why my son was bleeding like that too. I would not send that child out there bleeding like that without cleaning him up. Like he had food all over him.
He was not cleaned up.
I would have
There was
wiped him
no
down
ointment.
before I took him out there. Like I would have never done that. Like I loved Ray.
He
I
was
literally
completely
made you a Mother's Day.
exposed.
I literally made you a Mother's Day present, like with him. Like I love him.
Yeah.
I never mistreated him, and I can promise you that. Like I have no problem with her showing the cameras, and like I just was never asked personally by you, and I felt that you just came in swinging and attacking me, and I was told that you're a
I didn't
crazy
come
mom.
in
I was told that
attacking you though.
I was
I
told that you're
asked you. I asked you. I specifically asked you. I said, you know damn well my son didn't come in here with those scars on his face, but like you just said, you didn't even know what
right,
scars
but
I was.
then you started swinging, so I didn't even have a chance to communicate with you about what
Okay, but
happened or what pictures
that's
you
where
were
we
talking
have
about.
difference. We have a difference in our story, and my story collaborates with what I said, and I'm not changing my story up because there was a witness inside of the daycare that let the police know that you pushed me and I pushed you back. I never
I
swung on you, and the
I
police
didn't
know
push
that.
you, and I didn't push you, and it was in your live that you put hands on both of us. You literally admitted that you put hands on
I
both of
mean,
us in
pushing
that
you is putting my
daycare.
hands on you.
Right, you
If I
pushed me. I
that's
did
that's
not
putting
push
my
you.
hands on you, but that
You
doesn't mean
want
I
me to tell the
assaulted
truth?
you.
You want me to tell the truth? You tell the truth. I literally, you walked into that daycare. You said, you know damn well this didn't happen to my son, and then you pushed me multiple times. You didn't let me get a word out or nothing. You
Right.
didn't let me
But
get
when
my
I was
story
in your
out.
face, Skylar, I don't know if maybe it was an impulse. When I was in your face like this, you pushed me like this out of your face, and I pushed you back.
I stepped
You
back
shoved me a
from
little
you.
bit.
I stepped
You
back
shoved
from you.
right, but you shoved me a little bit in that process, and that's where things got physical. Well, I basically just shoved you back. You know what I'm saying? I never punched you. I never smacked you or anything like that.
I did not say you punched me. I told the police that you pushed me multiple times, which is what happened. And then today, I was taking my son to daycare, and I was told that you had followed me out there, and then all of a sudden you came in and swinging on me while I have my children with me. That's not okay when we haven't even communicated or had a conversation about what happened to your son. Because I
Well,
promise you,
only
even if
reason
I
why
didn't like you, I promise you, even if I didn't like you, I would never let nobody touch no baby, no kid, no mother, no nothing, because it's not that innocent baby's fault. And like I admit that I'm wrong for getting on Facebook and calling your son dirty. I do apologize for that. I should have never said any of that. I should have kept it to myself. But I was just upset that you tried to put me all over Facebook without even
well,
talking to
that
me
was
when
because of what she said outside before I had even came in there. She
So
said,
can
"Well,
I
I'm
ask
not the
you,
one that was
ladies?
watching him. The teacher is in there." I said, "I want to holler at her,"
Right.
but none of that was being recorded. I was on the phone with my friend. She heard all of that. She's keeping my kids for me right now for me to be on this podcast. But this is what this lady was saying. So that's what made me direct my energy towards you. And then when I said, you know damn well my son didn't come like that, you said, yes, he did. And you kind of shoved me out of your face and went to walk off, and it went from there.
Can I ask you guys
And
a
I
question
understand
really
that
quick?
reaction to because I'm in your face. You
if
know
Right.
what
I
I'm saying?
said
So
if I did say yes he did, I was referring to that one mark on his cheek. I never seen
he
those
didn't
pictures
have any
because you
marks on his cheek, and even the hospital can confirm he didn't have any previous scars on his face. There was nothing there, Skylar.
when I saw him this morning, I saw that mark, and I asked Dree that morning. I asked her. I said, "Was that already there?" And she said, "I
There
remember
was
seeing
no
that mark
scars.
too."
There was no scars there present, Skylar. I'm telling you. And the hospital has confirmed this. And I don't know.
Either
I
way, something
don't
did happen
know.
to him because, like I said, he was not bleeding when I left the daycare.
Right. And I
Okay.
believe, and I
Okay, ladies,
apologize on my
ladies,
end for my
ladies,
part. I was
ladies.
definitely wrong.
No,
Huh?
no, no. I just wanted to say really quickly. Okay, so she's saying that the child was not bleeding. What did you say, Skylar Joe? You said that the child was not bleeding.
The child, like the pictures that she posted of the child bleeding in the cheek and the ear, he was not bleeding when I changed him at 5 o'clock before I left work that day.
So let me ask you this.
And
She's
he had
saying
bite
that
mark
you
right here on
she's,
his forehead, Skylar, and like it had broke the skin a little bit right at the bottom of the bite mark. It was more darker down here than up top, but then it was just a bunch of red dots, just redness all through here. I don't know. It kind of made me
I
feel like
saw the
maybe
pictures
he
you
had even
posted.
fallen.
I just did not see any of those marks on him. I only saw the mark that was on his cheek, and I had asked Dree about that.
okay, so
Thank
Skylar
you.
Joe, would it be fair to say that her son did not come to daycare with those marks?
I never said that he came to daycare with those marks. I never said
Well,
that
that's what
she
you got.
did
That's
that
what
to
you had
him.
told me that day. But you, like you said, you cleared it up. You didn't even know what scars I was talking about. But he didn't have any scars. Period, Skylar. I promise you, he didn't.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know what bruises
Okay,
and scars you were
okay,
talking about because I never said that there was bruises and scars and that they came from you or
And
anything.
that's what the lady had told me when she called you. I was there when she called you. And so I heard you say, well, we do have a child in there that's a little rougher, and he might have gotten hold of him. And if he did, I'm really sorry about that. I didn't know. But once again, you didn't know you didn't even know what scars we were referring to or anything like that. So it makes sense. You were oblivious to what was going on. And that's why I am very apologetic. I'm a human being. I don't know what's going on because she won't release this footage and she keeps on he was in her classroom. So let me ask her. She's his teacher. I was in the kitchen. When I came back from breakfast, his face was already like that. That's what she said before she even called you on Monday.
Yeah,
I
she's talking
swear to God.
about the cheek one because that's what we had talked about
No,
that
she's talking
morning.
about the scars that I was addressing. The scars that I was addressing at that moment, the bite mark, the scratches, the ear, all the redness in his back. I was addressing that. That's what she specifically said to me.
okay. For whoever is Unique Humphrey, I did send you the link. You haven't chimed in yet. I don't see you in the waiting room, so I can try one more time to send you the link, but I did invite you to the live. Um, so I'm gonna try one more time to invite you, but I did send you the live. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Post. Right? Okay, so um you should have it, and we'll see you if you join in. Oh, I think we missing her. Skylar Joe is gone. Skylar,
Mm,
you still
Yeah,
here?
I think
yeah,
I turned the
I'm still
camera off.
here.
Oh, you just turned your camera. Okay. Okay, but let me ask you this. If the owner comes on or not. You two ladies, seem like you guys might be able to kind of squash this. There was some mistakes made. There were some things that should not have happened. Do you think that maybe because I mean, she seems like she likes you, Mo Meezy. She's
Huh?
Skylar, she seems like she likes you.
I never had a problem with Skylar. I don't be having a problem with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they were accepting my kids into their facility while I work to provide for my kids. I don't
Mhm.
I don't want to have no sloppy relationship with anybody that's keeping my kids because I don't want to put my kids in harm's way. I
Right.
never had a problem with her, regardless of the vibes that I felt like I was getting. Maybe it was because I felt my intuition felt like all of this was going to happen, but me consciously not knowing, but I could just feel something wasn't right. You know what I mean? Or something was, I don't know what I was feeling. Like, I still don't know what I was feeling, but I felt it. And now here we are. But I never had a problem with her. I actually the Mother's Day picture that she made with my son, I thought it was very sweet. It's actually on my refrigerator right now. And I forgot that she even made it with him, because like me being as angry as I was, I probably would have ripped it up. But I didn't,
She
because that was
seems
my
like
Mother's
she
Day gift
seems
from
like
my
a really sweet young lady to me.
yes. And like I said, I'm very apologetic. She has directed this whole situation to you. She said before, by the time he or she came and served breakfast, which was right after I dropped him off, he already had those scars, which means he would have been with you. But I didn't believe that part, even though I don't know what time you left, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know her schedule. But those marks were too fresh for it to be 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Right.
And something's not adding up. And
Right.
then for the lady to not be producing the cameras, I do believe she got cameras because I seen them in there, which is why I didn't punch her or do all this crazy stuff towards her,
Right.
because there was cameras there, and I'm gonna go to jail.
Okay. Right. Well, yeah, that's true. You probably would go to jail. And Unique Humphrey, it's a simple click. If you just click on the link that I sent, it'll bring you right to my waiting room. So it's not anything you got to dial up or do any of
And
that.
then I gotta wrap this up because I do gotta get home.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you two though. I would like to know Skylar Joe and Momeezy. Do you guys think that you could squash this? And like, I mean, she apologized to you. Mo, you apologized to her. And I think that's big of both of you ladies. And it just shows that people can actually have a grown up conversation. To hell with the social media trolling and all that, because people
And
gonna
I
do what
should
they
have said that.
do.
I should have pulled up on her and tried to talk to her. That would have been more appropriate for me.
Mhm.
I don't feel like my actions in that moment were the best judgment for me. you
You
know
were acting
um
out of emotions though. And
yes,
that's not
ma'am.
making an excuse. But when people are
Right.
emotional, like we're not thinking level-headed when we're emotional.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
why we have to
Yes.
always calm down first and then react
Right.
because we're gonna
And
do some
it was hard to calm down. Like, I had tried to calm down after I got in front of her. I mean, after I got behind her, and we still going the same way. And I'm like, oh
right.
my God, you can't, is this real? You can't be serious.
So now that we know that it wasn't that, again, I'm
I
asking the question
apologize,
again.
Tyler. I'm
Can
sorry.
we yeah.
Um, I am sorry, and we are going to get to the bottom of this. I'm sorry for any inconvenience it caused, for your time through the day. I definitely should have never did that in front of your children. I do apologize to your children, to the daycare, um, to anybody that's disappointed in me. I apologize to y'all too. But what do you expect when you don't know and you just keep on getting hit with the unexpected,
Mhm.
involving your kids
Right.
I get your
that
side
I
of the
know I'm going to
story.
protect?
I get your side of the story, and I'm not gonna sit here and throw Dree or anybody under the bus, but I quit that job because everything is just very unprofessional, and
Mhm.
I'm just not gonna deal with that type of behavior, and then nobody's gonna protect me and show cameras
Right.
at the end of the day either. So
Okay, so I would love to like see if it would be possible for you two to have a conversation off camera, off social media, no comments and trolls and all of that, no spectators. Just
I just actually want to say, because I said this on live real fast, I actually didn't quit. I called in sick,
Mhm,
and I had shown Dree that I was throwing up and stuff because I legitimately was sick.
mhm.
And she said that she was firing me because I didn't come into work for being sick.
Okay.
This lady is a mess, and y'all want to be mad at me for turning up on this lady. And once again, Skylar, I apologize because I lost my job too behind this situation with this lady. And I'm sorry because I know I shouldn't have did that in front of your kids. And I know I should have, well, I didn't know I could just address you and talk to you, because when I tried to talk to you, even though it wasn't the best approach, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So this lady is the problem. These people are sending me messages saying, like, how am I making up this stuff and I don't know this lady? I don't even know her name. I don't know this lady's name. My son wasn't even there a week. So
Oh
for my,
wow. So he just got there.
yes, ma'am, he has not been there for even 7 days.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
Skylar can confirm that. He's only been there about maybe what, 3 times? And that third time is when he came home with those scars and bruises.
Mhm.
I can't make this shit up. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sorry for cussing. I can't make it up.
You're fine.
This is really what the situation is. It's stressful, it's hurtful, it's a lot of confusion because I'm like, what did this lady allow my son allow to go through to my son? And then to say, like, oh, I made those posts for what? Lady, it's public record.
Right.
It's public record. He's gotten sued before.
Well,
Look at
all I can say is this. You and Skylar definitely are a lot more mature than this situation. Okay, that happened. And I can see like you're emotional and you're really remorseful for what happened. And I hear people, or I see people in the comments, saying call the police and do all these different things and, whatever. But I really think that off camera that you two ladies should have a conversation. I mean, I don't want to tell anybody how to apologize to anybody, but maybe the kids need an apology too. You know what I'm saying? I'm
and
just saying.
definitely deserves that. That owner was the first person I spoke with about this situation. She was not apologetic. She was not empathetic. She was more so trying to cover her tail.
Mhm.
That's it. And in the process of that, it was he's had that since breakfast. He was with the daycare teacher. I mean, the daytime teacher. And then when I came back, she's in there. She
Right.
pointed me and directed me in there to go holler at her because
Mhm.
she was like, and the teacher even said herself that boy came in here like that. That's exactly her words. And that's when I started marching on up to that daycare. Like, lady, you lying.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, like going back a little bit. If it was children, right? If it was children, because children do play and they play rough sometimes. If it was children and something happened, why not just say that instead of trying to put that on the mother?
Because she's done this before. Those screenshots are real. That she
And
be
and
allowing
that's what I'm
people.
saying. That was wrong of Dree to say that in the video. I never blamed the mom or said that it came from home. I said that if there was a mark that I did not see, that it probably came from the other child in there that I had made multiple complaints about because he was just every time I would turn away, he was on another child. Like he just was very touchy
He
kid.
definitely got my son very good. But what
Wow.
I'm trying to say is those screenshots are real.
Mhm.
That lady has had these incidents happen before. And even in the comments on the original live, when I went live, there's people in the comments like, my kids went there and they got put out because they said the kids kept on assaulting their kids. And then they got their kids kicked out because the kids jumped them. And then there's another comment on the live where they're saying, my kids got taken out of there because they basically got assaulted and they were
Okay.
allowed it to happen. So then
Okay.
when I just happened to see my messages
Those
today.
those people were talking about her first daycare though,
Oh,
because that
look, here goes
daycare.
somebody right there. Here goes somebody right there. Yes, my kids got hurt at that daycare from other kids before, and they showed the footage the same day, no hesitation.
It's because that daycare was owned by the same person. It was shut down before, and then she reopened it under a new name.
That's what okay, now that is what I said earlier in the video when we first started the live. I read some messages that said
I don't know
Hey,
why the daycare was shut down. I just know it was before.
right.
they said, and that's what the lady said in the screenshots that I posted. The lady said they've been shut down multiple times. They got shut down in Cincinnati and they got shut down up here. And then now it's in her brother's name. How would I make up a screenshot like that when I don't know that lady business?
Right. Okay. No, she's saying she's
Sierra.
speaking. Okay, so J Love says not that particular daycare, but she's just speaking in general
Oh, okay. But
about
no, there's
a
people. I
daycare.
asked the girl to come on here. I can try to inbox her and get her on here that made the lawsuit, but she sued them. And she
Wow.
said the same thing. That lady was allowing those kids to assault her child, and she won the lawsuit.
Wow. Wow.
That lady is not lying. Those other people that was in those comments are not lying.
Okay.
I'm not lying.
Listen, I think it's super big of you to, you went from a million. Okay. Now I ain't even gonna say 100. You went from a million to now you're just like, you're calm now. And that when you're calm, you can think more rationally. You know what I'm saying? You apologize to somebody. Not a lot of people would do that. They won't apologize. They just don't give a damn. You know what I mean? So I think it was big of you to come on in front of all these people because people judging and doing everything that they're
I'm so
doing.
used to the hate. It
Right.
doesn't bother me anymore. Like, I done got trolled before, and when you see those people in person, hey boo, and hey, I'm not worried about that. We're here for my son,
Mhm.
and
And
this
you answer.
podcast is really about my son and just getting to the bottom of this. So, Skylar, I'm very, very thankful. I'm very, very thankful, and I'm very, very apologetic from the bottom of my heart. Now I can make you a Valentine's gift or something like that, or you know what I'm saying, something to to. Oh shoot, what happened?
No, 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 that's me. Go ahead. I did that because I'm trying to.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, don't worry. I'm just messing with the screen.
okay.
But she's saying that she's not able to come on, and I'm trying to figure out why she's um she's not able to come on because I
Just
sent her the same link.
please, I will make more time, even if I got to pay my babysitter even longer, honey, because I
Okay.
have questions for you, the owner,
Okay.
because it's already coming out that you've been lying. So are you gonna tell the truth?
Okay. Okay, well, listen, ladies, thank you so much, Meezy, for coming on and being brave enough to share your story. But I really do have a lot of respect for you for trying to get to the bottom of what happened to your 1 year old. You have a right as a mother, just like any other mother, including myself, will want to know what happened to my damn 1 year old. Okay, and when you're not getting answers and you got all these different, excuses and people saying different things, it gets very frustrating and it's emotional because your child is defenseless.
Yes, ma'am.
So I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. Skylar, Joe, thank you so much for coming on. I really respect both of
Thank you,
you ladies
Skylar.
for apologizing. Like, where do they do that at? They don't do that anymore. Everybody wants to fight or stab, kill, and do whatever. But I appreciate that human moment and that adult moment between the two of you. And I hope that off camera, you two can just make amends and fix it. Even if y'all ain't friends or whatever, you know what I mean? You still got something that she made for your baby on your refrigerator. So clearly this girl does not dislike you and you did not dislike her, even though you've only known each other for a short period of time.
Three
So I would
days.
love it if you have a conversation off camera and maybe, you could apologize to her kids too.
And I'm willing to do that.
Okay.
Skylar, I'm definitely willing to do that. And if they don't want to be around me, I understand that
Mhm.
because I was the aggressor.
Mhm.
And if they don't feel safe around me, I understand that. I would easily make them a card or, or
Honestly, my kids are too young to understand, but I was with my friend's kid as well, and that little girl, and she has PTSD, and she was in there bawling and crying her eyes out after it happened.
Mhm.
So honestly, all I care about is her. So a card would be nice for her, but I
okay.
don't want anybody near her or anything. But
Y'all are really like, y'all got me getting emotional, okay? And I can't say I don't get emotional because I do get emotional, but I love seeing this and I love being able to provide a platform where it's not a bunch of yelling and screaming and cursing and people being mean, but we can actually make amends and people can apologize, take accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what we don't have in all these podcasts that we see. Everybody wants to scream and they want the tea and they want this, but this right here, I love this. So if you guys don't mind, Skylar, Joe, and Meezy, just come back and follow up with us on the show. After you guys make the card, show us a picture of the card. just so we can get a follow up and see how everything went. But I wish
Got
both of
you.
you ladies the absolute
Get her a
best.
card, some bears, some candies. You gotta let me know what candies she likes, what juice,
I love
what,
it.
like what's her favorite color. Like I'm here for it because I'm not trying to hurt anybody's kids, and I don't want my kids to be hurt either. I'm not trying to be emotional on here, but my actions are not was not perfect, but I damn sure ain't trying to traumatize no kids, nobody's kids. And I'm not like that.
Okay. Well,
I will go to war
we
for
have
any
hold on.
kid.
We have Dre Humphrey. I see you, honey. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. We'll bring her on. Hello, Dre. How are you?
Hello.
Good.
Hello.
Good.
How are you guys?
How are you?
I am fine. I
Okay.
could be better.
I know, but you know what? So far, I mean, like I got a little emotional. That's why I got on these glasses because y'all ain't gonna catch me slipping. Okay, but I just want to say that like this is a whole crazy big misunderstanding, and I just wish that there was some clarity on what happened. Um,
That's all
so
I
that
really
the
need.
mother can know what happened, because it is your business, right?
Yes, and I've been on some of the live, but not all of it because
Okay.
it's late. I was actually getting ready to go to bed, but I normally would not address anything like this, but I feel like this needs to be addressed because it
Mhm.
has gone kind of far,
Okay.
further than I would have even liked it to go. I'll start off by saying that as the owner of the child care center, I do not, unless it's a departure or I have a call off or something like that, I do not work directly in the classrooms with the children. Um, when the parents come in and there's any, first of all, this is my very first time having an incident with a parent or a run in or anything like that. I'm not sure about anything about uh,
Girl, you
being
playing.
shut
You
down
playing.
previous.
You like
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about being shut down previously or anything like that. I don't. Skylar is a new employee. I didn't know her prior to this, but when the parent came in, like I said, this is our very first incident. You can look everything up. It's all public record
mhm.
with the state.
Okay.
When the
Because
parent
it might
came
be the
in,
brothers, right? Is that what it is?
huh?
Because who's the business name in?
It's in mine. You can look it up.
Okay.
I don't
So it was
fall
in your brother's
into.
name
I'm
before.
not gonna go back and forth.
So it was in your brother's
I'm
name
not gonna go
before.
back and forth with you. I didn't come on here to do
I'm just
that.
asking questions to get clarity
Okay.
because
Okay, so
messages
let
that
me speak my
my
piece and then
inbox.
I'll answer anything you want to hear. Um, when this incident occurred, like I said, I was not in the classroom. I come in the classroom periodic during like on departure times. When I know when there's arrival, when there's departure, I always come in to serve breakfast. I always come in to serve lunch. And I also sometimes come in just to make sure, no teachers are on their phone and things like that. I stop in periodically. I am not a teacher. Um, so when this incident occurred, and she came into the center. For one, I was in there doing a departure. I One of my staff members were leaving. Skylar got off of work at 5:30. She left the facility at 5:41. Um, Miss Davis' daughter entered the facility at 47. So
Okay.
it was 6 minute difference between Skylar leaving and Miss Davis's daughter entering the facility. When she came in to get the child, one of my other staff members informed her that she had to have her mom. That a kid cannot pick up the student. So I had him in my hand actually at this time.
Actually,
So
that's
I
a
looked
lie.
out the
First
window.
of all, that's a lie
I
because she
looked out
sent
the
them outside. Hold up. You sent my son
Oh
outside
wait,
with
one
my
second.
daughter.
I'm going.
My
I'm
daughter
once.
brought
I
my
don't want
son
to do
to the car.
this. I don't want to.
Okay.
But man,
I
be
looked
true. Be
outside.
real.
I looked
Be
outside.
real.
Her car was parked. Her car was parked right at the bottom of the ramp. The child stated, "My mom leg is hurt." I said, "Okay, is that her right there in the front seat of the car?" She said, "Yeah." The prior days when I had saw her, she had like a little limp or something. I don't know if something was wrong with her leg. So when I looked out the door and I saw that the mom was in the front seat of the car, I
Mhm.
allowed the child to walk, even though that she did not sign her out or anything. I said she can sign him in and out in the morning. It's a clock-in machine.
Mhm.
So I allowed her to go outside with him. Mind you, I am just
Did you
standing
give her
in
an
the
incident
classroom.
report?
I am just standing in the classroom. So I'm not supervising any children. I'm not the teacher. So when the child walked out, maybe 2 minutes later, the mom came in with the baby with Ray. Um, he was in her hand. He said, "What?" She no, he was still in the daughter's hand because the daughter came back in as well. She said, "What
Yes.
happened to his face?" She said, "What happened to his face?" So I'm looking at his face, and I will start off by saying, the minute that she came in and said what happened to his face, I pulled out my phone and I took pictures right away.
No,
Is the very
no,
first
ma'am,
thing
you
that I did.
didn't.
I took pictures of his face.
No, you didn't.
So there was a
You
mark that was underneath
walking
his
in.
eye. There was a mark that was underneath his eye. There
No,
was
there's not.
there was a mark that was underneath his eye. There was a little small mark above his eye here, and then she showed me like some small scratch
Oh,
on
it
his
was
ear.
not.
So when I looked at the one on the
Mm-mm.
eye, I when I served breakfast in the morning, the one that was on his eye down here, that was there when I served breakfast in the
So why
morning.
wasn't it
But
there
even
in the
but
picture?
instead
Why
of
isn't that
me,
same scar there in the
ma'am,
picture?
ma'am, we are
Only
adults.
scars that
We
there
are
is the one that
adults.
was created at your. But
We are
you keep
adults.
on
We
making
have to
the
be able to
assumption
have a
there's no other
conversation.
scars, ma'am. Excuse me,
Go
Miss
get me a
Hollywood.
charger.
Can you
Hurry up.
pull up my
Hurry
son's
up.
picture and tell me where there's another
Listen,
scar
when
on his
when
face
hurry up, please
other than
hurry up.
the
My
scars
phone's dying.
got
My daughter's
a
going to
child
give me a
from her
charger.
daycare?
Okay.
Let me
Pull
get to
up.
the bottom of this.
Can
One
I ask
second. Let
you
me just say
a
this
question?
one thing. Let
Okay,
me
and
say
then
What
I'm
you
one
gonna
thing.
lying, bitch?
question.
Let me say this one thing. And then so when I saw the mark on the face and I noticed the one from day before, she said, I mean from earlier, she stated that when I looked at it, she said he didn't come in here with that. But instead of me saying I served breakfast and I saw it, I said, well, let me check the book and see if there was any incident report from the teacher.
Mhm,
Mind you, the teacher had only been gone for 12 minutes.
mhm.
I looked into the book. As she was standing there, I looked into the book. The book did not have any incident reports. At that time, I stated, well, she hasn't gotten far. Let me give her a call. I
Okay.
pulled out my cell phone. I gave her a call. I said, Skylar, um, Miss Davis is stating that there's a mark on the top. I see the marks on his face. Um, do you have an incident report? Do you know anything that happened in this classroom? She said, no, I do not. Nothing happened in that classroom, but we have that student that always, likes to hit people. So maybe that could have happened. But the mark under his eye was already there when he came. I said, yeah, I thought I saw that
So
too this
how was the
morning.
blood so fresh?
There, I have.
If that was there when
Is
he
there a way for
already
me to put
came,
pictures
why
here?
isn't there no additional scars on his face?
Is there a
You're
way for me to
lying.
upload any
You're
pictures?
You
lying.
can email them to me and then I can post them. But
I
here's my question. Here's a question that I want to ask. Do you have working cameras?
I do have working cameras, and the reason why the parent was not when she said that day when I looked at the incident, she said there was no incident report. I told the parent, I said I'm not sure. She doesn't have an incident report. I'm not sure if anything happened in this classroom, but tomorrow when I come into work, the first thing I would do is look over the cameras and see if I see any foul play. If I see any foul play, I will inform you and I will let you know. I will allow you to look at the very moment. Mind you, I have to watch 8 hours worth of footage and fast forward to
Mhm.
see if anything is happening. Anything is happening.
Right.
So I didn't see anything suspicious. I did see him playing with another student as he does when he comes. I see them playing with things. I When she came in that morning, I said, I viewed the cameras and I don't see anything. I see maybe he was playing. I can't see if maybe he got scratched during playing, but I don't see anything. She
That's
says,
not even what
well,
you
I
said.
need to see. She
That
said,
ain't
well,
even
I
what she
need to see the
said.
camera footage because I ain't going for that. I'm coming this way about my son and this, that, and the third. I said, well, I was
Baby, that's
on
not
my
even
way
what
out the
I said.
door.
And I have
I said
witnesses.
I was on my way out the door. We can schedule a time for you. No, now
You
you
had
got
told me
me
to come up
effed
there
up.
to review
You got me
everything.
effed up. So at that moment, she was outside the daycare. She wanted to
Because
fight.
she's lame.
I guess she was
So
gonna
why would I
fight the
get mad over
baby.
something like that?
Okay,
No,
And I just
listen,
wait, wait, wait. She
don't
was gonna
say
fight the
this
baby.
lady just told me to my
listen,
face
listen.
that their
I,
scars
in my
was there when I
mind,
got there.
I as a child care owner, when you come in really belligerent like that, you're asking for the camera when you know that another kid possibly scratched him. You're not
I was
accusing an
outside.
adult. You're
We
not.
were outside
You're
in the
not
parking
accusing
lot.
an adult. You're
We were
clearly
outside
accusing
in
a
the parking
kid.
lot.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
accusing a kid.
Right.
So if I allow you to see the video, the way she was acting, you're going to see this kid and you're going to wait in the parking lot for the parent. I'm not going to put this
Why would this
kid in
kid even be
jeopardy
there?
with
Why
the
is this
way
kid
that
even
you
there
are
if they are still
behaving.
assaulting? If they are assaulting and biting and scratching other children, children that are like that are not ready to be in daycare and should not be in daycare. Why is he even
But
still
you
there if he
cannot
is doing this
confront
to
their
multiple
parents.
kids? And as Skylar
But
had
you
said
cannot.
earlier that day, that he had been on top of all types of kids and having to separate him. So why was he even still there? And
I'm
then
not.
not to
I
mention,
don't
you
believe
told me to
that to
come
be
up there,
true.
and then you
I
left
don't.
out the fact, but I got you on camera, but you left out the fact that you had said he came with those scars.
That
But
was
there's
a
no
question that I was
presentation
about to
in that
ask.
picture, and I was in her parking lot. I took those
What I
pictures before
said
I
to
even
you
went
was.
back in there.
What
There's
I
no
said
other
to you
scars
was.
present. So, bitch,
No.
you're
What I
lying.
said to
And
you
I'm going
was.
to sue you. You
What
hear
I
me?
said to you was the way you are behaving. What
I
I said
wasn't
to you
behaving
was
any
the
type
way
of
you
way.
are behaving.
I
You are
wasn't behaving
making me
any type
believe
of way
you
until
did
you
them.
said
Okay.
that my
That's
child
what
came
I
with those
said.
marks.
I said I've never
I was
seen
cool.
anyone
I
behave
was
like
cool
this.
even
This is
when you was lying.
insane. And the way that you are behaving
One
is
at a
making me
time.
believe that
Ladies,
you did them.
ladies, one at a time. Okay, so that's
And
what
so how
this
could
is
I
the
do it
question
when
that
I
I
got
was
big
gonna
ass motherfucking teeth?
I don't know, but the way you
Stupid
were
ass bitch.
behaving was unhumane. So that's
Girl,
what made me
bad.
think,
It ain't get motherfucking real until you lied to my face. Period. Period, period,
ma'am,
period.
listen.
And then you
So
said it on live.
I'm not
You
sure.
said it on motherfucking live when you know that shit happened from that little boy. Like Skylar said, that little boy could have gotten him, but she wasn't even there when it happened because it was so fresh.
This is my
He
thing,
was
Miss
still
Davis.
bleeding.
This is
There
this is
was
my
no
thing,
other
Miss Davis.
scars
I'm
on his
not gonna
face.
engage.
Okay,
I'm not gonna
listen. Right.
engage in
Okay,
the back and
goodbye.
forth.
Goodbye.
I'm
See you
not going to
later.
engage in the back and forth, but what I am saying is that if any incident ever occurs at my facility, I have cameras. They're going 24/7. I'm watching everything and everyone.
So why did you
If
send the
you
police
come into
away if
my
there was police
facility and you're
yesterday that you didn't have
calm
it?
and you would like to view the footage, I don't have a problem with that. But when you act like you're going to fight a baby and you're going to wait in the
Who's
parking
acting
lot for
like
the
they fight? See,
mom,
you see how she motherfucking gaslighting, trying to make shit up. Talking about something, I'm gonna try to fight a baby. Girl, the fuck by. You're sick.
you
Bitch, you're
knew that the
sick.
baby did it
Shut the
before
fuck up, bitch.
you
You're
knew that
sick.
another kid did it. So why
Okay,
did you react
ladies.
that way?
Because you were supposed to be watching him, bitch. My
I
energy ain't
wasn't in
towards no
there.
motherfucking baby because babies do shit
Okay,
all the time.
guys.
My energy
Okay,
was
guys.
towards you
I'm not
because you was
sure.
lying in my face, weak ass bitch.
I have to go.
Okay.
Um,
Goodbye,
but the
bitch.
police,
Goodbye. Cut her off.
the
Cut
police
her off.
has access to the footage. And I will
And
say
you
this
denied
before
them
I
footage. You
leave.
denied them to watch the footage yesterday. You
I will
denied them.
say this before I leave that there is no investigation. The police looked at the videos from the kids. The state there's nothing. I got
She's
a call
lying, Jazz.
today. I
She's
got a call
lying.
today telling me that there's nothing that I mean, if a kid hit a kid, there's nothing that they can do. They came in to look and see, about the incident report. We have a meeting on Tuesday, but as of right now, there is no investigation aside from the fact that she came up to
If there's
assault
an
everyone.
investigation coming, sweetie, be ready.
Okay, so
Amen.
let me before we end this,
It's
I want
definitely it's
to
definitely an investigation.
I've never ever seen anything like this ever. I mean,
okay,
Yes you
you're
have.
very
You
unreasonable.
have.
okay,
You
ladies,
have.
when like can I just ask you, Dre,
Yes,
Dre, or
Dree.
Dre, okay, Miss Humphrey, when um Mo Meezy came to the daycare, she was live. Did you tell her, or did anybody tell her that her son came to daycare with those marks? He already had them before
When
he.
she before the live, when she came into the daycare, when I called Skylar on the phone, that's when it was said about he came in with the mark. Yes, she did say that on the phone. She did say that he came
No,
in with that.
Skylar did not say that when she
You
was on the
already
phone.
said he said
You
it.
said it, bitch. You
You
said it
already
both
said she
times.
said it.
It was you, not
This is
I
her.
said
When
crazy.
I
I
came
said
back over
that
there
we
on you
I
was a
said
Wait,
motherfucking
wait,
lie,
I
wait,
bitch. You
said
a
no, no, no,
motherfucking
no,
lie.
I
no,
said
no,
that we had both
You
noticed
a
the
lie.
thing on his cheek this morning. That's what I said. The one scratch on his cheek that we had both noticed it that it was there that
He
morning.
didn't
That's
have
what
no
I
Correct.
had
scratch on his
said.
cheek. So why is there no scratch on his face?
Correct. But she's stating that there was no scratch on his face at
And
all when he
Children's is
came.
also stating that there was no other scratches on his face. Children's Hospital can confirm that. Bitch, you're lying. But
I
Skylar was
can't
not.
go back and forth with
Skylar
an
never said
unreasonable.
that he came with those scars
okay,
This is
like that.
really
And
unreasonable and uncouth.
then
okay.
This
get off the
And
line.
I apologize that the tensions are high. But I wanted to ask somebody's in here asking Cherie Keys, I hope I'm saying her name right, and somebody else. Why did you fire Skylar?
Skylar was fired because of, for one, I didn't see the post at first. She was supposed to come into work the next day. We were gonna, sit down and discuss it and talk about,
Mhm.
everything that happened. When something happens the day prior, although Miss Davis was, out of control and all those things like that, it still was something that I wanted to get to the bottom, all the way to the bottom of. And I
Mhm.
was gonna train Skylar on, if they come with these things, you call me so we take a picture. If anything happens, I don't care if a
But my
kid
son
pushes
never
a
came
kid.
like that.
I don't
My
care
son
if a
didn't
kid
come there like
pushes a
that.
kid. You document it. So I needed her in there for a technical training so that I can offer her technical
You make
support
it
on
sound
how
so
to
good, sus.
do these
You
things.
make it sound
She called off stating that she was too distraught. I told her, I said, you can't allow
I
things like
called
this to
off
get to
because
you.
I said I was
She said
sick.
she felt sick. She said
You
she
see, she
felt
lied.
sick.
I told you, Skylar. She been lying on
She
you,
she said
Skylar.
she said she
She
felt
been
sick.
lying on you, Skylar.
She said she felt sick and she felt the emotions from the incident had gotten to her and she felt sick.
I
So
said
she
I
said she
felt
was calling off.
threatened.
I said, you can't call off. You need to come to work, So that was the end of the conversation. She texted me 1 hour before she was supposed to be to work and said, I'm throwing up. I'm not going to make it to work. In the midst of that, in the
Going
midst of her
around. So
not coming to work, I received a text message from a Facebook post that Skylar posted on Facebook where she
But
was talking about this child,
that's
where
a
she
lie.
got on here and
That's
she
a
was,
lie. That's a lie because I sent you text
no, no,
message
no.
proof as soon as I posted that on
Listen,
Facebook that
let me
same
tell you
day.
something.
I
Let me
sent
tell
you
you
that
say
text
something.
it,
message and told you what I
Skylar.
said.
Say it.
I told
This
you
the
what I
I
lies.
don't believe
said.
you.
I'm not gonna go back and forth with this situation. I saw a
I
Facebook.
bet you
I
not,
didn't get on
bitch.
there.
I
I
save
didn't
all
get
our
on there
text
and address it
messages.
at
I
all
showed
on
you the
behalf of
same
the
Honey,
child
day.
care
you're getting
center.
sued.
On
You're
behalf of the
getting
child care
sued.
center,
And
I did not
Skylar,
address
you
it
can get
because
your suit
Right.
for
everything
your
has to
lost
take its
wages
course.
too.
Everything has to take its course with the legal way. So as a
Mhm.
child care owner, I did not address it. So I did
Okay.
not feel like my staff members should have gotten on there. And for one, how do you work in
You
child
did
care and
address it
you
when you lied on
for
me.
one, how do you work in childcare and you feel like a kid is dirty or you feel like a kid is this? As a
I already
childcare worker,
apologized for
as
saying the
a
But
child was
child care
you
dirty, and
did,
I
worker,
tried
Skylar.
to delete it 3 minutes afterwards
it
because I
doesn't
felt
matter
wrong
if
for
you
that.
deleted it. It was about you saying it and feeling it in the
And that's
first
fine. I'm
place.
taking responsibility for
So
that.
I
But let's
went
be
back and
honest, you
forth.
fired me because I was sick. I showed
I
you
went,
that picture the same day that I posted that picture. You said, "Oh, really? You read it all and you said nothing. You said nothing. You were on my side until I called off sick." I have those
listen,
messages. I
listen.
literally sent you proof of me throwing up and you just don't care. Like you don't care.
When you sent me that message and I said to you, when I told you, why would you say that about that baby? I didn't say that.
We're not talking about what was said about
No,
her
yeah,
baby.
we were talking about your
What did y'all
post.
say
But
about the
Dee, is that
baby?
why
That's
you
what I'm
fired
confused again.
Skylar?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all
That's
just keep
not even the point of
on.
this whole
Keep
And
conversation.
then
The
on
she
point is
doing
that's
it
proceeded.
not
one
why
way,
you
Listen, we're
fired
not
motherfucking
going to
me.
get
way.
on here.
Ladies,
We're not going
ladies,
to get on here and talk
ladies,
about
ladies,
internal issues.
ladies,
We're
ladies.
not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about what the internal issues are. This is getting too far for me. This is not. We're not getting to the
But
bottom
you're
of
the one that
anything.
put internal issues on me and projected it on me. Like I brought my son with those scars and bruises, and you told me that to my face.
Listen,
When
Miss
I
Davis.
heard Skylar on the
Listen, Miss
phone with you
Davis.
on
This is what
Monday
I'm telling
night,
you right
Skylar didn't
now.
say
This is
that. That's not
This
what
is
he
what I'm
said at
telling
all.
you right now. This is what I'm telling you right now as the owner of the child care center. I did not personally work with your child. If my staff or anyone did anything that was wrongdoing, I don't want to sound that way, but I'm more about my business than I am about a
And that's
staff
sad
member.
because you ain't showed no compassion,
I don't
weak
know
ass
these people
bitch,
from a
to
can
my
of paint.
motherfucking son. This
You
other
just
lady
want a
right here,
problem.
Skylar, done
You
showed
want
more
a
compassion
problem
towards
and
my
you
son.
want
Not one time
attention,
did you
and
come
I'm
on
not
here and
going to
say,
give it.
I'm
I'm
sorry
not
for
I'm
what
not going
happened
to
to your
give it.
motherfucking son, weak ass bitch, and I'm coming for you. You next.
I
I'll
you
see you in
I
court.
can't believe you guys are condoning this.
I
I
mean,
can't believe
no.
your dumb ass came on here to tell on yourself and incriminate yourself even further. I
Listen,
wish I've seen you in traffic.
I don't know if she punched Skylar and made Skylar scared or what the situation is. I'm not sure what's
I
going
don't
on
know what
here.
happened, but you don't know nothing, do you?
I'm not
You
sure
just
what's
don't
going
know
on
a
here,
goddamn thing.
but what I
I
will
just
say is
told
that
my
Skylar
truth
left
and
the
my side of the
facility.
story and why I
This is
got
all being
fired, and
recorded.
that's
Thank
all
you,
I
God.
have to say.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, you
Because I
did get
one
fired,
person that
Skylar.
ain't
You
gonna be the
did.
liar is
You
Yeah,
me.
did get fired.
but because I called off sick and to you it was a no call, no show, not because of any of this situation. So let's
You
be
called off
Exactly.
honest.
because
Exactly.
you thought
Because you
you
called off sick.
no,
Okay,
And
because
hold
you
it's
on,
a
called
hold
off
whole
because you
stomach
thought the
bug going
state was
around.
gonna come in. And
No,
so
I
I
called
didn't
off
like
sick
that.
and was physically ill, and I had a doctor's note and told you that. And I also, Mandoria, my friend, came and got my kids and took them to the daycare because I was physically ill. And I even sent you a picture, which I shouldn't have to, of me throwing up in the toilet, which is pretty sad. And you're like, still coming. When I called off one day because my child was throwing up, you said, have him come lay in here on the cot. You can't call off for throwing up because he could have ate something
And that's
bad.
disgusting. Why would you
I'm
I
want
not
a
gonna
sick
have my
ass
child
kid
come and laying on the
in
cot
your
while I'm sick.
facility?
So
at the end of the day, you are terminated. We're
that's
not going
fine
back and
And
because
forth
you're
about
I'll
getting
quit
why.
sued,
regardless,
bitch.
even
You're
if I'm
And
not
you're
terminated.
getting
That's it.
terminated.
sued.
That's all.
Just
And
run me
you're
my
getting
money. That's
sued,
it. That's
bitch.
all. Run
Fuck
me my
you.
money.
Get
That's
her
okay.
it.
off this
That's
Okay,
live.
all.
Miss
okay,
Hollywood,
guys.
take
I
her
don't know
off
what
this
we're
live.
talking
She's
about
no
anymore, but
longer
have a
she's
good
no
night.
longer a
It's
benefit to this
midnight.
Thank
conversation.
you for stopping by and
No problems.
Get the fuck
yeah,
on.
And
okay.
I will email you the pictures of the baby that I took. She signed a photo agreement that says I'm allowed to take photos and share it. So I can send you that picture that I took at the time. No blood was present at all. I would never send a child outside like that.
Yes, you
Um,
did, bitch.
and I'll send that to you. And good night. Thanks for having me.
Have a good
And
night.
Girl,
much
boo.
success and
Goodbye.
blessings to
Take
you.
your motherfucking
Thank you.
fake
Have a good
ass
night.
on.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
How do I end it?
Bye.
I'll just remove you.
Sheelan.
Okay. You guys were doing so good. I'm not sure. Okay, we got people in the comments saying date stamped photos, please. Um, so yeah, she says she's got photos. I don't know. But listen, all I know is that,
She ain't
you
gonna
two,
send them to you. How much you want to bet? Because she's not allowed to send pictures. She's only allowed to have them around the daycare. So that's not a release for that. She's supposed to be showing pictures of
you said
him
that
happy in the daycare.
you
So
said
let
that
her send me those pictures, and that's
you
another
said
violation because I
you
didn't give
said
her a
that
release to directly send them to you. So
hey,
you see how unprofessional this
no,
weak ass
no,
bitch is trying to
no,
protect herself.
no. You said that you have an attorney, but are you sure you're not one?
I
I
am
mean,
her.
oh my goodness. Listen, guys. She better not. Somebody said she better not. What the F? Or yeah, okay. All right. So listen, she doesn't have
Exactly,
to send
y'all.
them.
She lying. Y'all, she lying. And I'm sorry if I made myself look bad with this situation with Skylar. I'm really sorry. But this shit is out of hand, and this lady keep lying. Now she lying on Skylar, and she was lying on Skylar, which is what made me approach Skylar the
Mhm,
way that I did. And you see how she kept on saying, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. So why are you talking? Let
mhm.
me talk to Skylar.
Okay. So here's the thing. Here's what we're gonna do. We talked about this, you and Skylar. I hope to see a card. I hope to see whatever the butterflies, whatever you're going to send to this little girl. I think that it is very mature. Again, like I said, repeating myself, that you two ladies were able to come to a consensus, both apologize to each other, just being adults. So let's just end the live there. I appreciate you guys for coming on and sharing your story. I pray for your son, and I hope that he gets better and that he gets whatever
He's
help
doing
that he
great.
needs. Okay, Skylar,
Yes.
thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate you doing that. I really do.
Well, I just didn't want to be defamed out here for something I didn't do.
And
So,
I understand completely, and I
And
respect
now
that.
you see what I mean, Skylar, as far as what's my approach. But let me say this: the
and that's
police
what I was trying to tell you. You didn't
yesterday
communicate
to
to
get
me, and
the
that's what should
footage,
have
to
happened.
review the footage from her, and they put in the report. I wish I had another phone right now to be
She
able to
told the
call them
police that the
because they
cameras
called
were
me back. You
dead.
can look at my call log, but I'm on my phone right now. They called me back and told me, she said the videos, the cameras was not charged up, and they did not have footage, and they specifically said that they were going to put in that report there needed to be further investigation. Children's
Mhm,
Services called me today in regards to why those scars got there, why there was no incident report, why I was not notified, and how she could say those things about me when obviously he was in their care.
mhm. Okay, so Skylar, you just said something, and so did you, but so did Dree. I think that's her name, Dree. Dree, I asked Dree, did she have cameras? She said yes, and she also said that you can view the camera. She doesn't have a problem with that. But Skylar, you're sitting here saying, as a former employee, as of today, that there are not working cameras, or you were told.
All I know is that the police asked her if there was any evidence of her assaulting us at the daycare, and she said that the cameras was dead.
Don't play with me.
She's
Like
told
for
all of
what?
us employees that there are cameras there watching us 24/7, that she'll come in and say stuff that we've been doing or whatever, and like pretends like that she sees it on the camera and tells us, so we think that there's a camera, but apparently there's not, because she I heard her tell the police that they were dead.
Okay.
I'm about to go home to go lay with my baby.
Okay. And that's probably right where you
And
need to be
anybody can
waiting
say
for.
whatever they want to say about me. I haven't been deceived, gaslighted,
And her talking
abused.
about me leaving at 5:40 didn't even make sense, because one minute she said that I was only gone 6 minutes, and then another time I was only gone 12 minutes by the time she picked her up, and that's not
But I
true at
was
all,
there
because
before 5 something.
I get off before I get off around 5:30 every day. And I left before that, after I did all my
You
diaper
had to
changes,
have
and
left
she came
before that.
into the room. And she also says she's not a teacher in that daycare, which she's not technically a teacher, she's the owner, but she do be in classrooms teaching and taking care of kids.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, listen, I'm
When you came in, was there any other teacher in that classroom?
What'd you say?
When you came in, was there any other teacher in that classroom when you came
It
to
was
get
just
your
her.
kids? Exactly,
It was just
because she
her.
was the
And
one
she
that
sent my
relieved
baby
me.
out because
She's
I'm
talking
not gonna.
about there was other teachers, but I'm confused because she's the one that relieved me. She was the one that was stepping in while I left, because she was the
Exactly,
new
and that's what
teacher.
she told me. But this is the thing. This is the so unprofessional thing about this lady, Miss Lawson, David, and them over there at True Fit. All of them, they so professional, bruh. Excuse me for saying, bruh. They so professional. One time, right, I had like I twisted my ankle, and I was like, I do not feel like getting out to go get this baby and grab him out this car seat and all this and all that. Instead of sending my child out with the baby, they came and helped me out the car. They was like, we about to come and get you because you got to sign him out. And it has to be an adult. There's cameras everywhere. It has to be an adult to come and
I just I just want to
so
say
they
that
that
Dree said
lady
what
came
I
out the car and
said.
got me out the car.
Dree proved my point. She said that there was not blood on his face when supposedly she picked him up, and that's my point. Period. I never saw blood. I never saw nothing before I left, and that's what's getting me innocent here.
So, but she's seen it, and she's saying she has pictures, and that was not. There was no. I'm going to get the records from Children's Hospital because I don't like being lied on, especially when it comes to kids. This is really serious because
I agree with that.
It's gonna make me look bad as a
I don't
parent.
know what happened by the time I left. All I know is I'm okay with her posting cameras and videos if she wants to do that, but she doesn't legally have to do that in Ohio, which is why she's probably not.
Well, she has. I have all rights to view the footage of my
She
son,
said
and
she
I've been
said
asking her
she
since
said in
Monday.
her parents contracts that she has the parents sign that it says that she doesn't have to provide video footage in the contract. So I would view that contract.
Mhm.
Okay,
Wow.
I thank you for that because I didn't know that. And at the time, it was a rush transition. And I
Mhm.
was really thankful for the lady because I'm like, okay, she rocking with me, she working with me. And it was just because I wanted to make sure I didn't have to worry about picking somebody up. I mean, somebody picking the kids up from one daycare when they could just be at that one daycare until I get off of work. All I was just trying to do was work. That was it. Take care of my kids. I was in a nice, happy space.
Mhm.
Um, Not too much going on outside of whatever BS with my baby daddy, but that wasn't nothing to detour my mind to just be like, I'm about to just crash out. No, this lady told me to my face, in front of my family, in front of my friends, like he came like that. And the other lady said, she specifically said, and the other lady said he came like that too. I said, I want to talk to her.
Right. Okay. Okay, so you and Skylar going to make arrangements, right? You
Yes,
gotta come
Skylar,
back
if
for
you
a follow up.
if you feel like it, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to deal with me at all. And I understand if you don't, but if you feel like it, um, you can inbox me or I can inbox you my number. And if you feel like you want to reach out to me, we can meet at a restaurant, at a church. I'm not like that for real. I'm really, really not. It's just this situation has gotten completely out of control from this lady lying. This lady been lying from the gate.
Right.
And she has gotten those people and those screenshots, those people are real. I could take the bubbles off. I only did that for confidentiality,
Mhm.
but I could really take these people's names off and you can go on their pages, get the inbox. I'm like, hey, did you really say that to Moniqua? And she gonna be like, yeah, that really happened to me from that same lady.
I would also appreciate it now that you got my truth and you believe me a little bit more if you would take those nasty pictures down of me too.
I can do that.
Thank you.
You're
What?
welcome.
What? Like what? Y'all, listen. I love this for y'all. I really do. Um, so I wanted to ask Skylar. Skylar, are you willing to come back on, even if you come back anonymous like this? Just to tell me, what happened, just to follow up with the show, what happened between you
She
two.
should go. She should go to Miss Lawson. I don't know if she hired her or not, but that's a great lady to work for. True Fit, they're great to work for. The only reason why my babies aren't there is because of the job's hours. Even at
Okay.
True Fit, it would not have fit those hours
Mhm.
because you guys are 24. So if I end up getting off, if we're supposed to close at 8 and we got a patient come in at 7:42 or 7:50, the doctor is going to still see that patient. And I
Right.
might have to stay late. I can't do that with True Fit, but I could do that, after taking care of that patient with this lady here. I don't know her name. I can't remember the name of the daycare. No, nothing. So,
The daycare is
there's a
Treehouse
lot of
Daycare.
daycares that you can go to.
Treehouse.
True Fit has a lot
Treehouse.
of different
Treehouse.
church people. They're really, really good church people there.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen. Thank you guys so much. First off, thank you for coming on. And then Skylar, I really thank you for coming on as well. You guys, it got a little heated. I understand. It doesn't normally get heated at the chat Miss Hollywood. Usually I'm the one getting heated. So this is a great change. Take it all off of me. I don't have to be the one
Oh
yelling and
my
going off.
gosh.
I
Oh
don't
my
have to be,
gosh.
but I appreciate you guys. Listen, you guys always have a forum to come to. If you got a story, somebody that has a story, or you just want to share something uplifting for somebody else, because that's really why I started this platform in the beginning, um, to help people who have a story, come on and they share it, but they help other people who don't have a voice that's big enough that they feel comfortable sharing, but they can help a person that they don't know. So I love the way this ended. And I'm just grateful. So thank you guys so much for coming on. And I appreciate you. And have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
night. Thank you to everybody in the comments, including the trolls.
Are they
Trolls
still
need love too.
trolling?
Who knows? Probably. But trolls need love too.
Fuck
Somebody said
y'all
trusting
trolls. We
here.
don't give a fuck. It's justice for my son, and we gonna thrive and live off of truth. And y'all heard the truth. Now go suck it up like you be sucking those fake ass niggas' dicks that really don't even like y'all. Good night.
Bye, everybody. Mo Meezy, yo, you sure you're not my little sister?
I think we related, girl.
No.
We
Goodbye.
cousins. We
Thank you so
cousins
much
after
for
the
tuning
day.
in. We thugsins.
We cousins after the we thugsins. We thugsins after the day.
Oh, goodbye. Everybody have a good night.
Good
Stay
night. I'll call
freaking
you tomorrow.
Shadow Trump. Yes. Bye. Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
Skylar. Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye, guys. Peace.
Thank you, Skylar. Inbox me.